hot behind, hot behind.
Now do I have sounds? I went through the whole checklist except that I forgot to check OBS. I forgot to recheck OBS, so I had to reselect the input in OBS after unplugging everything, replugging it in, rebooting. Anyway, hi friends. Hi. Let's just do that all again. I'm Leah Fireheart. This is the Fire Kitchen. I hope y'all are having a great morning. I'm having a great morning, can't you tell? I feel like Margot Robbie in the Barbie movie. Like, do you ever just think about dying? No, that's not where I'm at. It's fine. It's just, it was kind of funny that like I literally checked everything except that one thing. Anyway, whatever. Dr. Andy says, I just got here and we can think about dying together. There are many reasons why I love you, but right now I especially love you. Right. Okay. But we're just gonna gloss over the whole tech problem. I don't know. You guys, I don't know why it works for months and then suddenly I have a couple of streams in a row where it's all like, haha, USB resources. We don't give you USB resources. We hoard them all for ourselves. Tech gremlins. Anyway, right. So, hi, I'm Leah Fireheart. This is the Fire Kitchen. Today we are making baked falafel sandwiches and root veggie chips, and we're gonna roast some cauliflower because I had cauliflower left over from the recipe that we made on Tuesday, and I'm tired of wasting 3/4 of a head of cauliflower because I don't know what the hell to do with it after I make slaw out of like this much of it. Anyway, so we're gonna do that. In fact, we'll probably start with that because I think that has to cook the longest. The other thing that I said, which you couldn't hear, and unless all of you are like amazing at reading lips, which aren't they beautiful lips? I love red lipstick. It's really good. But Grognard Gourmand is in fact off work today. Husband and moderator is not in the office. However, he's also not here. He had a dentist appointment. So at some point he shall reemerge after the dentist and other assorted errands. And maybe we will get a chance to see him for a little bit. He's all dressed up too. He looks really nice today. I don't know why, but he does. He got all dressed up to go to the dentist. It's cute. Right. What do we do next? Right. We say hi to people. Oh, wait, let's say hi to people. Oh, this is the best part. This is like the best part. Okay. Right. Hello there, Brigitte. I think you did the party when I was rebooting Lumia, so I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Des, hi. Saribot, hello. Jane, hi. Jane was first. We will never believe it, but Jane was first. Jane is becoming the undisputed reigning champion of arriving first. I'll have you guys know. You really got to be on the ball to beat Jane, is all I'm saying. Alpine Shark. Mom, hi. Hello. Opting out. Hi. Once again, your ventriloquism act has gone awry. Hi, I'm Leah Fireheart. I'm a terrible ventriloquist with a terrible puppet. Let's see. Wait, what else did Dr. Andy say? Hold on a second. What I missed something. We got the little dude. Okay, opting out says, wait, I can read lips. She's saying, after a long arbitration, we've agreed to all the terms of Dirtle's contract, and Chester will be receiving all the foods. No. Brigitte says, my day is immensely improved for you being live. Thank you. Okay, so Dr. Andy says, I just got here and we can think about dying together. I mean, not dying together like in a trench. I mean, the thinking can happen together. Okay, awesome. That works great. I think I will think long and hard about it and decide that I don't want to die in a trench, even if it's next to you. But if I had to die in a trench, there are few people that I would rather be with. Is that a compliment? I think that's a compliment. I'm pretty sure that was a compliment. It was a compliment. You should just take it that way. It's fine. Alpine says, "Oh my God, I just yearned for the camaraderie of a trench." Doing great. I think that we should endeavor to provide camaraderie of a sort that rivals that of being in a trench without being in a trench. How would that be, Alpine? Would that be good? Let's try that today. That can be our thought experiment for the day. Jane says, I got first from mobile. I just happened to be on the Discord when the going live notification happened. Dr. Andy says, Leah, that's a really deep compliment and it really hit hard right this moment. Thank you. I love you very much and I'm so grateful for you. I'm also so grateful for you. It's funny because I mean, obviously, like there's a lot of people in my life that I like and respect a lot, and a lot of you folks here are on that list. There is something kind of unique about folks that you can joke about dying in a trench with. And I've surprisingly found a quite a number of them. Although as I said, I think the first person to come to mind when talking about those things would probably be Doc. It's one of those things where like I had reasonable confidence, right? I had reasonable confidence that I was going to be able to solve my mic problem, because like in general, it's not like a functional issue, right? Like for the most part, we don't have to like do a BIOS update or something to make the mics work, right? For the most part, like some sequence of unplugging things, rebooting and plugging things back in like works. But like on the off chance that it didn't work, I was going to be going deep into the trenches with Dr. Andy 23 to look at those things, because if I had to cancel stream today, it was going to be mic rehabilitation day. Streaming's better. We like this part better. At least I like this part better. Honestly, I'm not sure Dr. Andy cares either way, which is fine. That works. Jim Biddy Bim Bim, how are you? It's good to see you. Oh, you're lurking. Okay, well then never mind. Bye. No, I'm kidding. Hi, hello. I noted that you were not going to be streaming today. I hope everything is well in your world, and if it is not, I hope that whatever you are doing in the meantime is improving, or at least making everything work better. I have no idea what's going on, and you don't have to talk about it, but I noted that you canceled 2 streams, and so I just wanted to say hi. We love you, and we think you're wonderful, and we will look forward to your return. Dr. Andy says we need to perma-solve it soon. Let's put that on a to-do list. Yeah, I know we do. And the thing is that like several people have actually, also it's like really freaking hot in here. Okay, hold on a second. First of all, several people have offered to help me solve this, right? Okay, so Xantos has just offered to just come over and do it. Okay, so that's one thing. The second thing is that like I have Dez's husband, Sarah, who's like, I can just walk you through this. It's not that big of a deal. And then of course I also have Dr. Andy, who's like my go-to person for everything. And I just haven't done it. I think the thing is that like the timing is tough, right? Because I stream on Tuesdays and I stream on Fridays, and everybody's busy on the weekends. And so it's just kind of like, I don't want to feel like a burden. I don't want to make somebody come all the way here just to fix my computer. Anyway, so, but yes, you're right. We do need to solve this. We just need to install the new root hub so that it has all of the USB resources it needs, and so that all of the mics and all of the cameras all work at the same time without any drama, because I like it better when there's less drama. Des says I'm not a burden. Thank you, Des. But also, like, I don't, I mean, I know I'm not a burden. I know I'm not. But also, there are things that people would rather be doing than helping me install the new root hub on my computer. Um, However, give me just a second. I'm gonna put myself on a BRB just because of the position that I have to get into. This is gonna sound way more interesting than it actually is. I have to go manually change the heat, and I have to like lean over the chair back there to do it. And so I'm just gonna put myself on a BRB really quick so that I don't inadvertently flash anyone. Because it's like 60 degrees here. It's like 60 degrees here. I don't know what that is rest of the world temperatures, but it's really freaking hot for the end of January, and I'm roasting. So I will be right back. Dear planet, can we not require the use of an air conditioner in January? If I weren't streaming, I would probably just open the windows, if I'm honest. Actually, it might be raining, but anyway, whatever. No, so my point is, it's extremely warm here. In fact, let's look up the rest of the world temperatures so that all of you understand. All of you folks who are not American understand just how friggin' warm it is right now. It's 16 degrees right now, and tomorrow it is supposed to be 21 degrees on the 26th of January. This has always happened as long as I've lived in the DC area. This has always happened. There's always kind of been like usually there's a few days that happen, usually kind of like in mid to late February. It's like kind of a weird thing where we get like a sudden like something coming up from the Gulf or whatever, and it's like, hi, it's 80 degrees, let's all wear tank tops and shorts and play volleyball on the lawn. Well, that's what it meant when I was in college, but that's I don't really, anyway. And but I feel like it's happening more than once a year now. It used to be kind of like this weird random fluke where it was just like, hey, spring, I'm here. And then it's like, oh wait, no, not yet. Persephone's still got one more pomegranate seed to consume or something. Brigitte says something coming for the Gulf? What the hell did I say? That something coming for the Gulf? I'm really confused. I don't know what that means. Right. Okay. Now that we've been through all of that, now that I've had my thrice weekly stream freak out, let's Peaches, hi. Oh my gosh, hi. How are you? It's so good to see you, and thank you for the treat, Leah. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. I have a button for this very eventuality. Look who's back. Look who's back in the country. I'm so excited. You guys, Peaches has been in Spain for months. Or at least it felt like months. Was it maybe not months? I don't know. It felt like months. It felt like a really long time. But has in fact returned and is in fact returning to streaming. So this is exciting. I actually just read this last night, or maybe this morning. I think it was last night. So Peach is changing her stream schedule to 10 a.m. PST. So 1 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. Brigitte time, which is UK time. Yeah. Then 7 p.m. European time. This is a good stream. That's a good stream schedule. And it's gonna be streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure, and also maybe sometimes Saturdays. So follow her because she's really fun. She's I don't know what she's gonna be playing. Sometimes she does art, sometimes she does games. It's a variety of things, but it's a very good follow, and we're very glad to have her back. I said something coming from the Gulf, not golf. Okay, got it. Well, I mean, okay, so like, yeah, but Peaches, that's the whole point. We missed you. Of course, warm welcome. Also, I'm excited because now you're gonna overlap just a little bit at the end of my Thursday streams. And so like it's like another person that I'm kind of like, okay, I've been streaming for 4 hours. I'm exhausted. I need somebody who isn't gonna mind if I raid them and then pass out on the couch for 45 minutes. Because sometimes that happens. And it's nice because like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, if I'm feeling that way, I'm like, okay, I can raid Santa and I can be like, okay, friends, I'm exhausted, I'm going to sleep. But like on Thursdays I have gym. I need to find somebody on and now I also have like Tuesdays. So I don't want to say that you guys are like, but you're like the absolutely most reliable people in my life. You're always on, and I know your schedule, and so I can go looking for you in my little sidebar when it comes time to start a raid. Peaches says I didn't think of that. You're streaming earlier now. Well, just only on Thursdays. So the reality of my work schedule is that so I wanted to be able to stream. I wanted to add a third stream day. So I wanted to add. I'd been streaming Tuesdays and Fridays from 4 to 7, which is great. But in order to add a third stream day, it kind of had to be Thursday at the time when I was like making my schedule, right? Because there's just there's too many other. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, we love too many people, and we want to watch too many streams for us to like have like a plethora of options for which to schedule our own streams. And so I had been streaming a lot earlier so as not to like overlap Mariah too much. But of course, Mariah has kind of taken a little bit of a hiatus because of busy work schedule. And so when I started the gaming streams, I was like, okay, so I could do it late, but when I do it late, then I can't, like, if on days when I have to pack the car, then it like runs into car packing time. And so like car packing time, dinner, late, it gets like, it pushes everything way too late. And so practically speaking, I kind of need that like Thursday evening time slot in which to pack the car for an early Saturday morning gig. So that's why this time works better for me on Thursdays. And it seems to be working well for everyone. I do like the fact that we do occasionally get to see other people. Like, for example, our friend Vintage RPG was live this morning, and the way that the time zones work, our streams don't intersect for like 6 months of the year, but like on the other 6 months of the year, sometimes I get to see like Vintage and Whimsy and people like that in my chat because of just the way the time zones are, and that's always fun. So like it's nice to be able to kind of see some of the like people who live on the other side of the world in streams earlier in the day. Let's see. Mom says my tech issues are catching. I lost sound on my computer and can't chat on the mobile Twitch. Rebooting. I may or may not be back. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that tech issues were what's that word? I mean, catching is a word. Transmissible. Anyway, Peaches, this is hard to find a spot where you don't miss everyone streaming. Yeah. It is. It totally is. And there's kind of like I would love, for example, I would love to be able to stream a little bit later in the evening, but the fact of the matter is that like we go to bed at 9 o'clock, and so I really kind of like at the absolute outside have to be done by about 7:30, because otherwise like Grog does half an hour of dishes, he walks the dog and goes to bed. Like at least this way we kind of have at least a little bit of time at the end of the night for him to like chill and hang out and whatever. So it is what it is. Okay, but Peach has redeemed Treat Leah, and actually I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat myself with some manner of beverage. Not hot tea, because that's going to be too hot. But what I am going to do, actually, you know what I am going to do? I'm going to fill. Hold on a second. I'm going to do something that, because I'm feeling the tea. I'm feeling the tea thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make some iced tea, because there are blends in the Reapers and Steepers line that Dr. Andy 23 and Fatal and Coherent made, that I prefer iced over hot. And that just seems appealing today, given that I am absolutely friggin' dying. It's so hot in here. Okay. Arcadia, hi. Dark Shark, how are you? I love your Jim Biddy Bim Shark. I love the fact that it waves. It's so cute. Why am I looking in the refrigerator? Teas are not in the refrigerator. Teas are over here. I still need water to refill my kettle. Miss Josie, hi. How are you? It's good to see you. How are things? It's nice to see you here. Arcadia says that Jim's emotes are so good. They really are. Iced teas do go in the refrigerator, but I don't have any, so I have to make it. And so it goes, you know, I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna show you how I do this. I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but it is how I do it. I'm gonna steep it in a cup, in like a mug cup. And then I'm gonna pour the mug cup in that big thing of ice right there. I'm not really sure what the best way of doing it is, but that's what's gonna happen. I'm just looking through all of these to find the one that I know I want iced. But of course it's gonna take me forever. This one. The Bifrost, the original Bifrost tea, because I know I only have a little bit of it left. Speaking of which, hold on a second. Let me just push this button. There is a link to all the teas that our lovely friends have designed and produced with the company that makes the tea that's currently escaping my brain because streamer brain. But it begins with an A, doesn't it? Adagio. There we go. I got it. But they've done all the blends themselves. They've rigorously tested them and come up with blends that are appropriate to everyone's tastes and like a variety of tastes, I should say. And put them up for sale, which is super cool. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I just think what they've done is neat. Miss Josie says, I like tea. I have loads of tea. Tea World. Yes. Hi, Lassie. Shark. How are you? I like the eyebrows. I can't do that with my eyebrows. Maybe I could do it when I don't talk. A little bit. I could do it a little bit, but I look deranged. You're welcome. I don't tend to drink tea year round, because I forget that I can make it iced, but I do have quite a lot of tea, and so because I got samplers of all the ones they've produced basically, and so it's a good treat in a moment when I'm not particularly hungry. Jane says everyone needs a little deranged, TBH. Everyone needs a little deranged, TBH. So we will wait for that to boil. And then while we do that, let's actually get started on this cabbage. I think we should do that. Let's do that. Hold on though. I gotta go ahead and stick this thing up here. Right. So on Tuesday, I made cauliflower tacos. And it used a red and green cabbage slaw to top them, and it was delicious. It was so good. But the thing is that like a cabbage is approximately, it's approximately the size of my head. Cabbages are enormous. And so and and so you cut the cabbage in half, and then you cut it in half again, and then you cut that in half again, and that's the amount that you need in order to top like 8 or 12 cauliflower tacos. You just don't need that much cabbage. And so I'm left with, well, I'll show you what I'm left with. I'm left with an entire freaking, like, basically an entire friggin' cabbage, right? And so I was like, right, what am I going to do with that? And so I Googled, and I was like, okay, I see a recipe for lemon garlic cabbage wedges. It does actually call for 1 teaspoon of salt-free lemon pepper seasoning, and I don't have lemon pepper seasoning, so I'm going to be trying something else. I'm not sure what that is yet. I think it might involve lemon zest, so we'll see. Jane is an adult and is therefore having candy for breakfast today. It's all about having a balanced diet. And if some days that balance involves candy for breakfast, you're doing great. You're eating breakfast, and that's what counts. Jane says, Josie says, I used to not like cabbage, but I can get behind it on a sandwich or a taco now. I see. Okay. All right, cool. Because I was actually, I think when I was making the tacos, actually, I thought it was Alpine. I think it was Alpine said that they really like, cabbage. And I was like, ooh, okay, interesting. Because I think really most of the time when I've had cabbage, it's kind of been like a coleslaw situation, like some kind of slaw thing. I also really like cabbage rolls. You can put meat, like mixture in them and steam the cabbage leaves and make like cabbage rolls. It's a lot of work. So even though they're incredibly delicious, I have never made them myself. I have only had them at other people's houses. I guess I'm gathering they're probably Eastern European or Ukrainian or something. But yeah, they're delicious, and they use like the whole cabbage leaf. But and those are good. But otherwise, like I don't like think of cabbage as like a side, for example. Whereas this is definitely what this is going to be. Lassie says, you forget that ice exists. I'm not saying that. Opting out says, this is weird. I don't see kimchi anywhere in your stream title. That's right. That's true. Although I've never made kimchi with like regular green cabbage. Isn't that usually like a Napa cabbage or Savoy cabbage kind of a situation? It's usually like some kind of other cabbage, right? It's not like usually regular green cabbage. Although I guess, I mean, the point that I made on Tuesday was kind of pretty much like, isn't cabbage? Like a cabbage is a cabbage. Profound thoughts from Leah Fireheart. Yeah, Lassie says the 80-20 rule. Exactly. Alpine says, I'm not sure fudge would be a good substitution. Oh, Josie says, I had a chocolate croissant. No judgment. Yeah. You see? Like, it's, well, it's funny. One of the things that I kind of retained from, I can't remember what I was looking at. You know what it was? Oh my God. You know what it was? Okay. So when I was a kid, not kid, like, I mean, I guess I still kind of was a kid, but like 16 to 18-year-old, I had a brief flirtation with enjoying like really trashy women's magazines. I don't know how else to put them. Things like Cosmopolitan. I liked Vogue and stuff too, but like also I was kind of aware of the fact that like that wasn't my life. As much as I kind of thought maybe someday in the future it would be, that's obviously not how this has worked out. But one of the things that I remember reading in one of those magazines was that it was better to have a donut for breakfast than to not eat breakfast. Like, scientifically speaking, like it's better to eat something than nothing. And so a donut will suffice. The obvious implication being probably not every day, but you know what? We're all doing the best we can. Arcadia says, today's meal sounds amazing. A local cafe makes hot falafel sandwiches and they're my favorite on their menu. Very cool. Okay, so my personal experience with falafel has actually been, yeah, obviously, like, we get it out and stuff, like, and you can get it out, and that's just, you know, somebody else makes it, and who knows how they make it. But the company that makes the couscous, it's kind of like a rice-a-roni situation, but it's like couscous with like a seasoning packet, and you just make the couscous, you throw the seasoning packet in, and it's done, right? Also makes a falafel mix, and I've only ever used that, but today we're going to do it from scratch. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm hopeful. Opting out says cabbage unrolls are good too. Same ingredients, but you cook the chopped cabbage in with the mush. Opting out says you have a point on the cabbage. I can't remember what sort we have used for kimchi, but it isn't standard green. Opting out, cabbage unrolls. Hold on a second. We're gonna, that is, because I really do like it, and I feel like I get stuck in a rut, particularly with like I'm subject to ruts when it comes to vegetables. And so like being able to like use cabbage is kind of cool. All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna give me a moment here. Give me a moment here to pour this over the sink, because otherwise it's probably going to have an accident. Oh, it did. It seriously had an accident. It had a whole heckin' accident. So I'm glad that I poured it over the sink, because it sloshed everywhere. Okay. So there's that. And then, because I didn't want the glass to crack, let's just add these as we go. Uh-oh. Wait, hold on a second. I missed something. Let's scroll up. Okay. Lassie says, I will die on the hill of eat 80% healthy and 20% any edible items you wish to eat. Jane says, I had 3 fruit by the foots for breakfast. I'm not sorry about it either. So yummy. Brigitte is glad that Lassie specified edible items. Josie is a meter, but falafel is kind of great. We are also meters. This does happen to be like vegetarian week, but that was just because I had kind of a collection of A, things I wanted to use, and B, recipes that looked intriguing to me. This is not at all what I expected. This isn't usually how this goes. Hold on a second. Let's give me a minute to address my beverage situation. I could just do what we do in what we did in the restaurant and just drink it out of the quart container. That was a thing. Okay. Josie says we do something called egg roll in a bowl, which is just the good middle bits. Cabbage is in that too. That I do. I have made those, and those are really, really good. Those are actually really, really good. And I guess the cabbage rolls would be similar with kind of the addition of more of a tomato-y situation, I'm guessing. We've made the egg roll in a bowl on stream, because that's one of my favorite easy meals. Brigitte says some of it does. I feel like I probably have been overloading it, so only the edges of some of the strips get crispy. I missed something, but I'm sure you guys are on it. Arcadia says, I'm really curious to see what goes into Leah's sandwiches with the falafel. Well, so the recipe that I found, in fact, you can actually look at it if you just do command recipe in chat. Or you can also continue to watch, and I won't complain about that. So the ingredients that go into the falafel is kind of substantial. And then also a roasted red pepper salad. It actually wanted me to add a 1/4 cup of cornichons or dill pickle slices, and I was like, do we want to do that though? Do we really? And so I pulled out. Where is it? Where did it go? This is extremely unhelpful. This is super exceedingly not helpful at all. Where is that little jar? Did it end up in the fridge? Aha! It ended up in the fridge. That's where it is. So our friend Call Me Corey at the end of the season, had some green tomatoes that were not going to ripen because of like the time and temperature associated with it. And so she made pickled green tomatoes. And so I'm going to use those instead of the like cornichons or dill pickle slices, mainly because that sounded terrible. And I like dill pickles. I like cornichons, but that just didn't sound as good to me. So I think this sounds better. And so we're going to do this instead. And then tahini sauce. So that's what's going to go on the thing. Jane says I make egg roll in a bowl at least twice a month. One of my faves. I actually have leftovers of it in my fridge right now. Excellent. Lassie says egg rolls in a bowl, best way to have it, because actually rolling the egg rolls is too much of a pain in the ass. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Although if you want, I don't know that he's done egg rolls. I should ask him. But it would help if I actually used the correct, if you guys are interested in somebody, who does actually, we call him Dumpling Daddy, so he does more dumplings than egg rolls. But for that kind of cooking, I would follow Chef John, because this guy's super heckin' talented. He's such a good chef, and a really delightful human to boot. So if you guys are interested in the opinions of an expert on how to accomplish that, then I highly recommend Chef John as a follow. Arcadia says the coffee shop sandwich is falafel, hummus, rocket, arugula, and mango chutney. Interesting. That actually really does sound good. And actually, I do have mango chutney in my fridge, but I think we're gonna start with how the thing is written, and then we'll see what we like after that. Alpine says a good falafel shawarma vibe from the recipe. Okay, cool. Brigitte, I don't know that that's what he calls himself. I mean, you've met him. He has a tremendously good energy. Is all I'll say. I don't. I don't know why you guys think this is so funny. Maybe it's just because I watch him a lot, and so I hear him say it a lot. It's just what he says. It's hysterical. It is, and he is actually very, very funny. So, as I said, I do. He's Canadian, and I highly recommend him if you are into the food and drink streamers, which I assume, since you're here, you probably are. Some random geek. Hi, hello, how are you? It's good to see you. I hope things are good. Mom fixed the sound problem, except muted. Oh, oops, sorry. Brigitte says last time I called someone dumpling daddy, I get redacted. We have a thing for that. We can take care of that. Some random geek is tired. Ain't that a mood? But it's good to see you, and I hope at least we can provide you some company in your tired state. Peaches says I'm here for the banter and vintage dresses. Okay, fair. This one's very, I like, so this one I like because look, the skirt is very twirly, but I also like that it's fairly stiff. Like, the fabric is fairly stiff. So, like, it actually is designed to wear with a petticoat. So you're actually probably supposed to be, like, out here. But I can't really wear a petticoat in the kitchen because it gets in the way. And I like the fact that it has enough body that you can kind of, like, and structure that it kind of, like, sits like it's already got a petticoat. That's what I like about this one. Jane is making a proper breakfast now. Brunch. It's or 11's. I don't know where you live, but whatever. Lassie is not really into food and drink streamers, just into Leah streamers. Okay, well, thank you. That's awfully flattering. I love the fact that you guys that you guys then indulge me in my kitchen shenanigans, and hang out. Jane says that you have my legal. Oh, I do have your. You're right. I do. And because that happened in the fog of a week from hell, I forgot. about that. But I do have your legal address. I just went, oh, Jane sent me her address. Fantastic. I have no idea where you actually live. I don't even know what state. It is 11 here though. You're right. I have a vague middle. Thank you for the follow. I have a vague middle of the country perception of where Jane lives. But the middle of our country is large. Jane's still holding out on the illegal address. Iowa. Okay, that's what it is. See, I was right. The home of corn. That's the only thing I remember about taking the train through Iowa is corn. But I actually do have another friend. I have another friend from Iowa. Somebody from Iowa married one of my best friends from college, and so Iowa and corn and doctors apparently, because his entire family is entirely comprised of doctors. Let's see. Jessica, hi. No problem. I love supporting other women on this platform who put out content of substance. Well, I'm glad that I'm giving that impression, given that I'm
Am I interested in you in fruit or dessert?
Shinji, hi. Given that I'm 45 minutes into a stream about cabbage and falafel and and root veggie chips, and I'm still just blathering away, but I appreciate the follow. Thank you. Okay, so oh my gosh, oh my goodness, hi. Wow, you guys. Suddenly the chat is moving really, really fast. Anthony, hi, it's good to see you. And Shinji, hi, thank you for the raid. Omega's Prime, hi, it's good to see you. Opting out since I don't understand this resentment of the flyover states with the towards the coastal elite. I mean, there's clearly a deep cultural understanding there. We definitely have a deep cultural understanding, Jane and I, where we both love unicorn paintings on black velvet. We culturally are seeing eye to eye. Falafel is a substance. Substance is a substance is a stretch. Thank you, appreciate that. Ever Mellow, hello and welcome. Hi. Right. Did we do a shout out for Shinji? I assume we did. You guys, so Shinji is one of my new Fortnite friends. Shinji and I discovered each other when Shinji raided us a few weeks ago and was like, "Hi, I play Fortnite and also I like watching food and drink streamers." And I'm like, "Hi, I'm a food and drink streamer who likes watching people play Fortnite." So that's where we are. But yeah, if you also like watching Fortnite and you enjoy good banter between friends and actually a very impressive ability to keep up with chat while also playing high level Fortnite, very, very rare. Then you may also enjoy following Shinji. Welcome to here if you have not been here yet. I'm Leah Fireheart. I do predominantly cooking streams on this channel Tuesdays and Fridays from 4 until 7 p.m. And then gaming you guys, I just can't whisper in my brain today. Cooking streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Thursdays from 10:30 until 2:30, unless my mics all break, which is what happened today, and so we got started a little late. And then on Fridays we do gaming. Right now we're currently playing Hades, so if that sounds fun to you, you should show up tomorrow at 4, and we will be back there on our 1970s sofa, playing Hades. So return here if you're more of the gaming type. Alpine says your kitchen shenanigans are a delight and so fun. Cooking streams charms always my jam, but you do a great balance of accessible and aspirational recipes. Oh, thank you. I do strive for that because I want to do things that are going to be interesting to watch and challenging for me, and something that I wouldn't necessarily try just left to my own devices. Speaking of something that I will be interested in trying that I would not have tried if left to my own devices, that is next week, despite the fact that I have, for some reason, candy keeps coming up in conversation these days. And I'm not really a huge, enormous fan of like super sugary candies, but I have a backlog of things that I want to try making. And so I think we're going to do that next week. So next Thursday, come back here. We are going to make homemade Pop Rocks. Because that's something that came up a while ago. So we're gonna make homemade Pop Rocks, mainly because 2 weeks ago, we made cheese. And one of the things that came in the DIY cheese kit was citric acid, which is one of the things that we need to make homemade Pop Rocks. So I was like, we have all this citric acid now. Am I really gonna make that much cheese? Probably not. And so we're gonna make Pop Rocks. And then the other thing that I have, it was gifted to me via Throne a while ago, was a gummy Venus de Milo mold. So we're going to make gummy Venus de Milos. I don't know that we'll get through all of this in a 4-hour stream. I'm going to try. I think the gummy takes a while to set. And so that might not, you might have to like resort to Discord or something to see the final, the finished product. But like, I'm not going to be displaying it on my back pocket. I'm sorry to say. So that's what we're going to be doing next Thursday. At least that's the plan thus far. Okay. So hold on a second. Let me just, let me scroll up because I've just been ranting. Okay. Brigitte Stations, you had fun destroying lobbies. Wait, you won the last game. Heck yeah. Good job. You guys are great. Opting out says entire civilizations could be based on unicorn paintings on black velvet. No, not just could. Should. Yes. Okay. And Lassie wants to do a unicorn name. That's fine. We can do that. Let's see. Jessica says, so you can do it all. I love cooking streams. I've done a few. I'm also a gamer and I'm obsessed with my gardening. Heck yeah. Wait, hold on a second. You do cooking streams and you're also a gamer and also gardening. Hold on, let me drop you a follow and I'll come by and say hello. I hate it when I do this. Now I can't figure out how to close this. No! Oh my gosh. All right, hold on a second. You know, I always remember after I do it that if I click on a name, I can't figure out how to close that window. There we go. Okay, so now we're all back. Hi. Hello. Okay, so Shinji says, yeah, me, Aztec, and Anthony destroyed a trios lobby, so I appreciate them so much. Yeah, I don't know if I know Aztec, but I did meet Anthony. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for dropping the Discord command. Did you see my clip? I actually posted a clip to Instagram this morning, because the new Metal Gear Solid, the Solid Snake collab dropped, and you can hide in a cardboard box, and you go in the box and then you can run around as a cardboard box, and somebody started shooting at me while I was in the box, like popped out of the box, and I was like pew 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 pew, and then they died, and then I went back into the box because I was doing a quest. It was really funny. It's really funny. I don't think those boxes are going to be good for anything but the memes, but they're very funny. Let's see. Oh my gosh, all of these new friends. Okay, so you guys, D Thomas and I met on Sunday, I think. Because and I'm not entirely sure what to call you. I don't know that I zeroed in on what you'd like to be called, but if you want to give me some guidance, I'm happy to refer to you something as other than D Toma 5. Paul rated this person who was playing Fortnite on Sunday. So yeah, you guys, apparently all my friends are Fortnite players now. I'm sorry if that's not your thing. Sienna, hi, hello. And Jessica loves Metal Gear. Heck yeah. So our friend, I wouldn't have even known who this was, except our friend Jim Bitty Bim Bim just played through, and I hear the clap in my head. I'm just saying. just played through the entire series. And so I have kind of at least some vague idea of who he is and why there are cardboard boxes in Fortnite now. But I don't have like a comprehensive understanding of all the lore of Metal Gear. Does anybody have a comprehensive understanding of all the lore of Metal Gear? I know Jim's played most of the games many times, so Jim might have more thoughts on this than most, but I'm not sure. Shinji says, "Oh no, I haven't been on Insta yet this morning. I have to go look." It was pretty funny. In fact, if we connect on Discord, I can just start. My friend Vix, I like poor Vix. He gets like random Fortnite clips at all hours of the day. And he's always so nice. He's like, anyway, but yeah. So you'll expect to get, if we connect on Discord, expect to get like random Fortnite clips in your DMs. I know. I'm talking. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm going to do this unicorn name thing. By the way, there is a channel point redemption. So if any of you don't know your unicorn name, you can also spend I think it's like 100 channel points to have me tell you what your unicorn name is according to this box of slice and bake Lisa Frank unicorn sugar cookies that I bought on sale after Easter 2 years ago. And today we're doing Zabroni, whose birthday is in December. Okay. Funky Wish. What's a funky wish? Oh no, I don't know that we ought to go down that road. Maybe we'll just accept that is the unicorn name and move on. Santa says Metal Gear is my favorite series, hands down. No way, I didn't know that. Have you ever played Metal Gear on stream, Santa? Opting out says, Leah, if you say you should do something as a preschooler who had too many espressos, your description of Metal Gear is the impression that I'm talking about. It does strike me as having a bit of a surreality to it. We'll just say that. I know the lore is deep, and I know Kojima goes all out. I'm saying, does anyone understand it? That's my point. Shinji says, I'm all for that. I love clips. I always forget to clip stuff. I use Post Party. I just use the app that's built into Fortnite. It's so convenient. I can't even tell you. It's so easy. I wouldn't even do it except that they make it so easy. Rashid says, funky wish, if only I had some gorgonzola cheese. It's not really a pun. I'm not going to push the pun button for it. Wait, Lassie knew that. You knew that? There's a reason Santa is named Slayer of Big Booty Robots, Wrangler of Blinks, Stealthiest in the Land, Viscount Santaquin. Jim says, Jim is the Kojima whisperer. Welcome back, Jim. Not a fun, but still funny. Santa played Metal Gear Solid 2, my personal favorite for my 1-year affiliate stream back in 2022. I played the whole thing in one go. I don't know that I know I was definitely following you, but I think until Jim played through the whole thing, I wasn't aware of it as like a cultural phenomenon necessarily. Right. Okay. So let me put this back up on the fridge. Give me a second. I was talking about something and I don't remember what it was now. So it is what it is. It's fine. We're fine. I think, even though I've been streaming for an hour, I haven't started cooking yet. I am going to take a quick break because we do in fact have an ad break incoming. The way that our ads work here, I take a 3-minute break every hour, which keeps the stream pre-roll ad free for everyone, and means that no one will miss anything. So I'm going to take a quick break and sit down and take a breath, and maybe drink some more iced tea. And you guys who are subscribed can watch what I put up on the screen. Those of you who are not subscribed may see some ads. I do appreciate you hanging in there and sticking with it. It helps out the channel, and as I said, keeps the stream ad free for everyone for the rest of the hour. So I will be right back. You heard it. Leah's cunning plan was to be too hot. This channel gets spicier and spicier. Indeed it does. In fact, we have just made hot and sticky. We were talking about squirrels.
Glaring at Byron.
Why are you glaring at Byron? Byron says you got him a copy of Will Smith's hit single Switch.
No.
I could.
You could. But you won't.
Yeah! Let it out! Let the disco happen!
There we go.
Because this is for all you Ugg boot wearing, pumpkin spice latte drinking, Stanley tumbler in 10 colors having basic bees. Okay, it's got 4 ingredients and one of them is optional. And I can actually do that one from memory, but it's like my version of it is slightly different from yours, which is how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck would chuck as much as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. I can do other weird things too, like tie a cherry stem in and not with my tongue, but my mother didn't teach me that. I learned that all on my own. Obviously, I don't know how you would teach that, if I'm honest. I love streaming. I love hanging out with you guys. I love coming here and sharing time in my kitchen as if we were all attending the same virtual dinner party, which is kind of the metaphor that I use in my head for bringing people into my space and trying to be as amusing a hostess as possible. The definition of 1 HP in a dream. Oh my god. No, I died.
Made it. Barely.
Wait, what?
This holds some sort of power, but for what?
She died! I won! We both died!
So Nether says, you know what happens when in Clue or Cluedo, depending on territory, you've correctly proved that it's not the yellow character? I don't know, Nether.
They got the mustard.
Nether, you're a genius.
I have come back to the food cam in the probably somewhat misplaced optimism that we're going to cook today. Hi, welcome back. I remembered while I was on break what it was that caught my attention that I had meant to address and then I forgot. So we're going to talk about Fortnite here for just a little minute. Shinji, I don't know if it works on console or not, but the way that it works is it's a mobile app. And so you connect your mobile app to the thing, to your Epic account. And whenever you have a kill, it automatically pops up a thing in the corner of the screen and is like, do you want to clip this? And then you can also like just hold down, and I play on controller, I hold down the 3 bar button. And I can clip any 30 seconds I want, basically. But when you have a kill, it automatically clips the previous 30 seconds when you tell it, yeah, go ahead and clip that. So I don't know. If it works on console, but that's how I know it works on PC. And it's very cool. I don't think I play with anyone who plays on console, unfortunately. Oh wait. Jim might play on console.
Can I interest any of you in fruit or dessert?
Okay, Gingy needs to download. I mean, it's worth trying anyway. It's worth trying. Rhubarb, hi. Oh my gosh, hi. Chili, hi. Luke, hi. EXO, hi. Don't play like I do. Hi. That's a great username. Welcome to here. Brigitte, thank you for that shout out for Rhubarb. Rhubarb was playing Cozy Time. Wait, is that one of those productivity ones? Jim plays on PS5, but I don't know if you use Post Party. I don't know if you can. I thought you might because I know you're on Mac. I know you're on Mac and not everything runs on a Mac. But I don't know if you use the Post Party app for Fortnite clips. I'm not sure everyone is quite so enamored of sending random 30-second snippets of their gameplay to their friends. Yeah, so I don't know if it works. Thank you for that shout out for Rhubarb. Rhubarb, quick before you go, because I know you usually have to run off to dinner after stream. I know you were talking yesterday about this. You were talking about doing some productivity streams using Cozy Time. How did that go? Did you like it? Did you get a lot done? Did you have fun? Yeah, productive type program. That's what I thought. So it's like Virtual Cottage, right? So our friend Fadele does Sunday kind of co-working, supporting through whatever you need to get done type streams on Sundays, and she uses Virtual Cottage. And so sometimes when we've done it here, we have also used Virtual Cottage. I'm not as familiar with Cozy Time, but I heard but you said that yesterday and I was intrigued. So did you like it? Did it go well? Did you get a lot done? Or if that's not your goal, then that's also cool, because sometimes the goal of those things is not to get a lot done, but to like get some rest or something. So that's neat. This is another raid to distract Leah from cooking today. You know what? We're cool. We're chill. Grog's home. It's fine. Thank you for the follow. Grog's off work. It's raining. I don't have anything else to do. We could just stream for 6 hours if we don't get done with anything else that we planned on doing. It's fine. Rhubarb's here was super cute. I did get some work done, 50-50 working and chatting. That's good though. That's good. That beats my ratio already. I mean, my ratio this stream has been 100% chatting and no working. Chop. Would chop what? Chop cabbage? I guess I could do that while I talk. But if you are new here, coming in with Rhubarb, I'm Leah Fireheart. This is the Fire Kitchen. We in theory do cooking on this channel on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays and 10:30 to 2:30 on Thursdays. We also do some gaming on this channel on Fridays from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. Right now we are playing Hades. So if that sounds fun to you, you can come back tomorrow and watch us play some Hades. Today, though, we are cooking. It is, in fact, Vegetarian Week in the Fire Kitchen, so we are making baked falafel sandwiches. And I have some leftover cabbage from our thing on Tuesday. So we're making lemon garlic cabbage wedges, and then in theory, we're also going to be making some root veggie chips. I have a beet and some other things that we're going to turn into vegetable chips. So that is, or crisps, I suppose, in your case. So that's what we are doing today. We did hear how Rhubarb's stream went, so that is very good to hear. I'm glad that went well. Rhubarb, if you have to skedaddle, since I know it is actually getting on towards dinner time for you, please, no worries. De-stream, take care of yourself. It is lovely to have all of you here. And I look forward to catching another one of your streams again sometime soon. I'm so glad you're back. It's nice to have you around, even though a lot of the time it's sort of like on in the background while I'm like doing my own thing. But that's exactly what you did today, so it's perfect. So I'm really glad to hear that went well. Opting out says your attempt to put the stream back on track is admirable. An uphill battle with very little chance of success, but admirable. Right. Okay. So here is cabbage. We're going to chop some cabbage. Oh, well, okay. So first, we're not going to start with the cabbage, though. Okay, we are actually going to... Actually, you know what? That was our second raid. So while I do this situation with the aluminum foil, I'm going to go ahead and run our raid video real quick. And that will give me 1 minute and 6 seconds of uninterrupted time upon which I can furiously prepare some actual food. I'll be right back.
My time, talking about my time, my time.
Not only sticky, I'm covered in whiskey. I smell delicious.
I know, right?
Behave. It was a little dangerous.
Stab, 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 stab.
Behave harder. I have a moment alone with my burger.
Forgot I still have a missing asset there. That's okay. Right. So I did exactly what I said. I furiously covered this tray in aluminum foil while I was gone and you guys were watching the raid video. There's a track I didn't know. Also Shinji, this redeemed hydrate. So if y'all have not had a sip of a hydrating beverage in a while, I recommend that you take a sip. And if you need to refill your water or go get one, then maybe now would be a good opportunity to do that. I assure you, you won't miss anything because we're not getting anything done today. Cheers. All right. Okay, so large rimmed baking sheet. Place in oven. Okay. Sure. Heat to 400 degrees. Nice. Remove any wilted or damaged leaves from cabbage. Cut the cabbage into 8 wedges, leaving the root intact to help the wedges stay together. Okay, sure, cool. Yeah, that works. This one, I cut the root off, but that's okay. Let's get a knife. Weren't you doing the cauliflower? Thank you, Dr. Andy. Wasn't I doing the cauliflower first? What are you talking about? I don't have cauliflower on the menu today. There's no cauliflower. There's only cabbage. We're roasting a cabbage. Rhubarb says, I hope you have a fantastic stream and make delicious food. I need to go get my own food. Yes, heck yeah. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you again for the raid, Rhubarb. It's always a delight to see you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I will see you again soon, I'm sure. All right. Brigitte says, awesome. I must have misheard the word cabbage as cauliflower in the intro. I either that or I said cauliflower. I mean, that's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Also, I removed the wilted leaves when I did this, when I used this on Tuesday. So we're good. Also, I did notice that our friend Blue Link Plays popped in earlier with a lurk. So hi Blink. Sorry, things have been a little chaotic here today. I mean, things are always a little chaotic. Things have been more than a little chaotic here today. So I'm sorry if you have already skedaddled, for lack of a proper greeting, but hi. All right. Jane says, oh man, the concert I was going to tonight got postponed, and the date it got postponed to is the same day as another concert I was really looking forward to. What a bummer. That's a super bummer. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know if you're willing to say who you're seeing, or maybe, or provide a broad genre of the kind of music that you listen to. One of my quests for this year, is to undertake more concert attendance, and so I'm curious about what everyone is seeing. Yeah, hi, what's up? I shenanigans and chaos as always. But broadly speaking, cabbage. Hi, welcome to here. Mom says you didn't mishear what she said, but in context, shredded, lot left over. I imagined it was cabbage. Yes. Yes, chaos, but not necessarily disorder. Shinji says, time for me to actually get ready for work. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks, Shinji. I appreciate the raid again. I hope you have a good day at work. Congratulations on your Fortnite win, and I'm sure I will see you soon as well. Later. Okay, Blink says, got you on in the background, so I'm listening in. Hi. I'm glad you're listening in. Hi. It's good to see you. Jane says, I was going to see Disturbed because Falling in Reverse is one of their openers, and I love them. I love Disturbed too, but I've seen them before. I don't know what that is. I don't know who those are. Am I vegetarian or only this week? I am not vegetarian. No, what happened was that I had a couple of recipes that I wanted to try that all happened to be vegetarian. And so I just decided to make it vegetarian week. But no, I'm not ordinarily vegetarian. I was slightly raised a little bit vegetarian because my brother went vegetarian at 8 years old. But no, I am not personally vegetarian. So Disturbed and Falling in Reverse sound to me like rock or punk or something like that. Brigitte says I was raised a bit vegetarian in that I ate some vegetables. No, I mean like it was like falafel was one of the kind of like standbys, like it was something that we ate a lot. So that's kind of like, but usually we used the boxed mix and I've never tried making it from scratch, not even once. Mom says you ate vegetarian when I was too lazy to make 2 meals. I mean, you shouldn't have to. There's nothing wrong with vegetarian food. It's delicious. It's just that I married someone who likes this meat. Jane says very much in the metal hard rock realm where I like to live. I'm an emo unicorn. Heck yeah. I endeavor to fill my friend group entirely with emo unicorns. Some random geek says Disturbed is a metal band. Having heard of Falling in Reverse. Well, if you like Disturbed, then I guess you should check them out because Jane likes them. I know Jane says, well, I'll gladly be your friend. Excellent. I love that. Okay, so we have cut our thing into wedges. We're going to brush both sides of the cabbage wedges with lemon juice and olive oil and sprinkle with salt. Wow, we're not going to do that. We're really not going to do that. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and 1.5 teaspoons, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. What are we doing with the lemon zest? We are doing lemon zest. Okay, now what does it say about the lemon zest? Okay, so we're gonna have to zest the lemon first. Okay, so that's a good thing to know. It's a good thing to know before we actually like cut open the lemon. So yeah, let's zest this first. Now it says to use lemon zest and lemon pepper seasoning. So I don't know how lemony this is going to end up being. I guess we'll find out. And because I'm just going to skip that. Lemon pepper seasoning isn't something that I use on a regular basis, and I wasn't about to buy an entirely different kind of seasoning just to make this one recipe. So, we're just going to leave that out and hope that it's fine. Given that there's like butter and lemon and garlic and all kinds of stuff in this, I have a suspicion that it's going to be fine. But if it's boring, then it's my fault. Right, that is 1 zested lemon. And then cut this in half. grab our, well, it looks like the other one might still be in the dishwasher. We'll use this one. It's meant for oranges, but it'll be fine. By the way, we've tried basically every kind of manual juicer on the market, because for a while we were juicing a lot of citrus when it came to Grog's cocktails. And the ones that we have discovered that we like best are basically this kind of type that have kind of like a, I don't know what you call that, like a reamer, and then have some sort of receptacle attached to it, because it's convenient and not messy. And so, yeah, those are good. And there are any number of others that don't actually seem to work that well, or that are like super fiddly in some way. So, yeah, that's from our perspective, the best kind of lemon juicer. Olive oil. Okay. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Let me just get out this whole thing of stuff here. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I don't know what we're doing with the rest of this. We're going to put it aside. And then 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Brushing this sounds fiddly to me, and I don't want to do that. So, with the root intact, the loss of leaves should be relatively minor. So, I am going to do this, which is to drizzle this over the top and rub it with my fingers, because ain't nobody got time for a pastry brush when they're messing with their cabbage. I hear a grog. Mom says, I wish you were closer. I could open a lemon pepper seasoning store. Penzies had a sale that included the free lemon pepper seasoning, and I ordered a couple. I'm not, though, and you live very far away. Well, too far away for, I mean, not like far away by plane, but like too far away for the having of extra lemon pepper seasoning. Hi.
Hi.
Grog brings parsnip. That was a fast trip. How was the dentist?
Fine.
Looks great. Thanks.
I've got to run and get my prescription from the drugstore, but I will be back.
Okay.
Shortly.
Okay.
And I'm not going to the other doctor today because I've got a billing appointment next week, right after your appointment.
I have an appointment next week?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good
At
to
the
know.
Dentist.
Cool. Thanks. My mom says you look handsome today. I agree.
Thank you.
We will see you back in a little bit. Okay, so sprinkle with salt. I'm gonna wait until I get that onto the tray to do that. Remove the baking sheet from the oven, arrange the cabbage wedges on it at a single layer, roast until tender and slightly browned, 40 to 45 minutes, flipping halfway through. Okay, so we're just going to wait for a minute until the oven is heated. We'll get started on something else in the meantime. Dr. Andy would like to issue me a quick reminder that I have an appointment next week. So thank you. I will probably not remember that, which is why it's good that they call me to confirm. And the dentist's office is really funny. They will like call every 30 minutes until I pick up the phone. And if I don't pick up the phone, they'll call my husband to make sure that I don't forget that I have an appointment. It's a little intrusive, but other than that, I really like my dentist. He's a really good guy. He's a nice man. He's not all shamey because, you know, what is it about dentists and them being shamey? Like, I do all the things, okay? I brush my teeth twice a day. I floss. I use a mouth rinse. Like, I go to the dentist every 6 months like I'm supposed to. And, and yet, there are so many dentists who are super shamey that are like, you need to be flossing better, and here's how you do it. And it's just like, look, I'm just doing the best I can, okay? It is what it is. I'm not going to spend 15 minutes flossing my teeth morning and night, okay? I'm not going to floss after every meal. I'm just not going to do it. So leave me alone. And he's good. He leaves me alone. Kara, hi, falafels, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Hey, Kara, how was your food yesterday? I hope it was good. Andy, the new. I believe this is probably a reference to it being Burns Night in Scotland, which is a thing that we don't celebrate here in the US, but involves haggis and neeps and tatties. Is that like a turnip and a potato? Is that what that is? We are doing root vegetables, but parsnips, not turnips. Opting out says, can your dentist give some tips to the cardiologist that was 100% supposed to call me early this week? I mean, it's not the actual dentist who makes the calls. It's his administrative assistant, but she is on it, which I actually do appreciate. Mom says teeth are mostly about genetics if you do the basics. Interesting. Arcadia is a spicy take, and as you say, not universal to all dentists, but having worked at a dental school, just admin for a summer, 2 words, inferiority complex. Oh, now that you say that, I kind of understand. My university, the university that I graduated from, used to have a dental school, and it doesn't anymore. And when we had to do the dentists reunion, the dentist class reunions were kind of notorious for being a whole thing. And I remember being told that it was because they weren't doctors. And that is definitely not true of my dentist. My dentist, I think, is Iranian. And moved here a very long time ago, and he's a very nice man with no inferiority complex. Okay, so Kara says this is so good. The guava and cheese pastry was I'm really glad that it was good. It's glad. It's good. It's good to hear. And Mom says don't use meth. Can somebody please quote my mother saying, and don't use meth? Can one of my mods add that as a quote? Alpine says chewing on reeds was good enough for my ancestors. Arcadia says, ah, yes, Burns Night, the famous Welsh holiday. Parsnips or neeps. Parsnips! I have parsnips, but we're making crisps out of them, not like chips, not I don't know, whatever they do with them in haggis. Arcadia says dentists who are notably not doctors. Dr. Andy reminds that he is not a medical professional of any kind. Thank you for that reminder, Doc. Andy says it's, I don't know how to read that. Despite the fact that I have taken some Welsh Duolingo classes, but apparently there's a Welsh equivalent of Valentine's Day in Wales. That's cool. Good to know. Arcadia says, yeah, for sure it's not universal. There's loads of great dentists, but it's common enough to be a stereotype. I mean, it certainly was true amongst the fundraising professionals that I that I worked with. I think they kind of attributed it to the fact that the dentist felt like they were redheaded stepchildren because the university eliminated the dental program. But now that you say that, it dovetails. Mom says meth is very hard on your teeth and your life and your friends and family and your community, in case you needed an explanation. I didn't really need an explanation, but I imagine so. Opting out says, while you're adding quotes, Dr. Andy from last week, I'm supposed to be making soup, not conjugating Portuguese. Didn't somebody quote that? Andy says, you've been watching way too many episodes of Breaking Bad. I think this is more of kind of like a truth universally acknowledged. This is the one that prompted me saying on Tuesday, you know, half the things I say on stream, I don't actually remember what the context was. And this is the one that I don't remember what the context was, which is, do people have house parties without murder? Jane says, thank you for the list of reasons not to do meth. It's very helpful for my life. It's true. These things are important to know. It's important to have lists of things like this. Yeah, you know, for the most part, my attitude towards any kind of substance use is kind of like, look, you're an adult, make your own decisions. But I think meth is probably not a great idea. Okay, so, this is wedges of cabbage on cool. And then we can just kind of like drizzle the rest of all of this over each of the individual cabbage wedges, and then wash my hands because now my hands are covered in olive oil again. This week, cabbage. Next week, Pop Rocks. It's a whole thing. Leah channeling Agatha Christie. That might have been the context. I kind of vaguely recall perhaps a discussion of like, I don't know that it was Agatha Christie. I think it might have been like just like British period detective dramas. Like, is that like a thing? No, you can't treat Chester on Thursdays, Andy. I'm sorry. Yeah, the treat Chester redemption is turned off when I'm in the kitchen. It's because I inadvertently trained my dog to make a pest of himself during streams, and it got to be very tiresome. So now treat Chester is only on Fridays during gaming streams. So come back tomorrow for the treat Chester redemption. Fridays and birthdays only. Yes, Fridays and birthdays. Wait, birthdays? David Suchet is the best Poirot. Give him a hug for you. Okay, I can do that. I can give him a hug. Hey, Boo. Hey, Boo. Come here. Hey, Chester. Chester. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come over here. Come over here for a second. Come here. Let me just move my purse here. Come here. Okay. Oh. Okay. We will at least bring Chester to see all of you. Look, here's a doggo. Here's a doggy. Oh, Chester. You see his cute little serious face. I love you, Boo. Hugs from Andy. Oh, you're kind of heavy, you know that? He just made the snortiest angry noise in me. He's so cute and squishy, and I love him. He is very cute and squishy. He's a very, very snuggly dog. That is definitely true. Kara listened to all of the Poirot novels as free audiobooks a couple years ago. I still haven't recovered from the last novel. I've never read those ones. I've never really been much of... Oh, Nux! Oh my gosh, hi! Hi, how are you? The red is very similar to Dr. Andy's red, and my brain just went, oh, Dr. Andy put Chester's in chat, which is unusual, but didn't strike me as being like that unusual. Anyway, hi Nux, how are you? Good to see you. I went down a Dorothy Sayers rabbit hole a few years ago. I'm not really a mystery reader too much. But I do like Dorothy Sayers. So the Peter Whimsy books. I never finished them because I also liked the audiobooks, but it was one of those things where the first couple were read by someone different than like the next few, and I didn't like the next narrator, and so I bought them. Like I found one in paperback and I was like, oh, I'll just read it, because it seems silly to pay for a ebook when I could get a paperback for like 25 cents, but then I just never read it. So maybe I should do that. And you know what? The reason that I should do that. Okay, so Nux is just lurking, really sick. Hope you're all are well. Oh, Nux, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear you're sick. I hope you get better soon. It sucks to just have Peach back and then get ill, but at least she's here now and can kind of take care of you, hopefully. But thanks for popping in and saying hi, even though you're not feeling good. Kara says the narrator makes a huge difference. The narrator makes a huge difference. In fact, I've talked about this a little bit before, but the reason that I got into audiobooks, I've talked about this before, but not for a while. You guys know, so I think probably an overwhelming percentage of us are fairly decent Dragon Age fans. Okay. And Hawk, the male Hawk, which I know not as many people play the male Hawk as play the female Hawk, particularly because of who voices the female Hawk. But the male Hawk is a guy named Nicholas Bolton, who, by the way, fun fact that not a lot of people know even now is that he also voices Xenon the Antiquarian. The same guy that does Xenon the Antiquarian does Male Hawk. How cool is that, right? It's really good. Anyway, so Nicholas Bolton reads specifically a series of steampunk, Cthulhu-esque queer romances. They're kind of genre bending, okay? But they're by this writer named Alexis Hall, who I know, but this isn't like sponsored or anything, okay? But Alexis remained a good friend from my romance reading days, and Nicholas Bolton read the audiobooks for these series. Okay, so the one that I would start with is probably Prosperity. It's called Prosperity, and it's about a fictional town called Prosperity. And then it goes into Liberty and other stories. And that was the one that has like this absolutely amazing non-binary character, and kind of tells the story of this amazing non-binary character in like a really super cool way. It's just really good writing. It's really good writing. He's such a talented guy. But the audiobooks are read by Nicholas Bolton, and they're so good. Let's see. Kara said I had to look it up. It's called Curtain, Poirot's Last Case. Okay. Opting Out says there's a male Hawk. Next she'll be trying to tell me there's a male Shepherd. Skeptical face. Yes, there's a male Hawk. Hawk, that guy that gets tickled by spiders in DAI. Yes, that one. Archive.org is a great website to access free literature. I actually downloaded The Hobbit from there last night. Cool. Yeah, I actually get a lot of my audiobooks from my library. Believe it or not, my library does a lot of audiobook lending. The things that I've wanted to read lately have really only kind of been like big name bestseller things. Like when we were in New Orleans, I was the song Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was coming out, the movie, the Hunger Games movie. And so I wanted to read I was just like, you know what? I'm going to be stuck on an airplane. I'm just going to read the book. I tried to download it from my library and there were like 400 holds or something. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll just buy it since I'm going to be on an airplane. And then the other one was the Fourth Wing series that someone was talking about in chat. I went and I Googled it and I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. I went and I put in a hold at my library, but there's like 1,200 people waiting. I'm just going to wait though. I'm not going to get it. I'm just going to wait for the holds to come in. Rashid is The Hobbit, that famously light reading. It is. How is The Hobbit not light reading? Audiobook is better than reading the books all day every day. I go through phases. I go through phases with it. Oh right, I should probably set a timer here. Hold on a second. We're just chatting away as usual. I actually have other things I need to do. So maybe we should do some of those other things while I chat. But I got a little bit lost in the in the reverie of recalling my first audiobook experience. Let's see. At least for Tolkien. Okay. Arcadia says, I'd say The Hobbit is pretty light. Lord of the Rings is slow going though. I'm not sure why it's on archive.org. The copyright doesn't expire for years yet. Alpine says the Hobbit is so light. Des says, I wish I could listen to audiobooks. I get too distracted and tune them out too easily. I mean, you know, I think we've talked about this before. It was something I had to teach myself. Like, it was something that I could only do either in the car. Like, I can listen to, like, if I'm driving, like, I can listen to them in the car. And then I had my job at the bakery. One of the things that in addition to the donut glazes, one of the things that I did at the bakery was that I made the butterscotch pudding once or twice a week. And it's basically an hour of standing there stirring pudding. Okay. So it's just stir the pudding for an hour. And so I would listen to an audiobook while I was doing that. And it's so monotonous that there's nothing else going on in my brain, but it had to be done. So, and now I've gotten to the point where, because I did so much of it, now for whatever reason, like I like it works for me. But I mean, it's not obviously not a necessary thing to you know, to teach yourself. Let's see. Kara says it's kind of like U.S. library service for older works. Okay. Brigitte says everything is light reading complete compared to ancient cuneiform. Oh, because it's heavy. Okay, now that's a pun. That gets a pun button. All right. So what are we gonna start with? Oh, I forgot to put the salt on there. Hold on. Let's salt this. Let's salt the cabbage. For some things, I wouldn't say that this step would matter. But I would imagine the salt is probably acting to like release some liquid here in addition to like seasoning it. So this is going to be kind of probably more important to make sure that we actually add the salt. Oops, let's not put the dress in the oven. Just as a thought. Okay. Right. What's next? Melt butter in saucepan. Crushed red pepper, garnish. Okay, actually we actually are going to do this first. We're going to do the cabbage finisher first. Just because I don't want to forget to do it and then have the cabbage be done and then we have to scramble. So we're going to take 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Oops. Please. That you know, it's weird. That freezer isn't even that full right now. I don't know why it's doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Mom says I found The Hobbit dark. Not negative, just literally dark. The visuals are all in caves and forests. So light reading, but dark. That's fair. Arcadia says I know what it is, and I'm just saying the copyright status is legally gray at best, as is archive.org's claim to be a library. Kara says, I have 2 series I always recommend, again for audiobook though for different reasons. Kara says the Discworld series because the narrators do a great job of bringing out nuances to the humor more often than not. And 2, the Queen's Thief series because it's the only series I'm sad I will never experience for the first time again. I don't even know what that is. Is it sounds like maybe fantasy? Yeah, and I can't really speak to any of the details of any of this other stuff, so I'm just gonna stay out of it. Arcadia says, +1 to Discworld. It's a wonderful series. I miss Terry Pratchett. Okay, so hey, Leah, hot take time. I don't like candy, cold pizza, gravy, or Terry Pratchett. I'm sure he was a lovely man. I'm sure he was a terrific writer. I just can't get into it. My basic underlying problem is that it's written to be humorous and I don't find it funny. Arcadius is unfollowed, unsubscribed, blocked, and reported. That's fair. That's fair. It's probably honestly, I'm surprised that Brigitte still speaks to me because Brigitte really loves Terry Pratchett and I don't. In fact, my husband, Grog, really likes Terry Pratchett. We have a friend named Robert, the person that we went to New Orleans with, and is kind of our adopted person. He loves Terry Pratchett so much that he went to a Terry Pratchett convention, which apparently amusingly also took place in the same hotel on the same weekend as a Church of England convention of some kind. And it was full of like really confused priests and people dressed like really confused priests, and everyone was confused. So that was apparently something that Terry Pratchett probably would have really enjoyed. Rashid says it's written to be clever, not necessarily funny. The puns are top notch. There's no such thing as a free launch as gold. Of course I don't like it then. Arcadia says, but you're right that he was a lovely man. I was lucky enough to meet him once. Yeah, I mean, I know. So I remember when he passed away that that Neil Gaiman wrote really a stunningly lovely kind of obituary, and it was really touching. As I gather, they were very close. But and so I was like, wow, I that's really great. I wish I liked his books. Alpine says, for someone who is not up on cultural references or puns, it's not too surprising. There you go. Arcady says, I have a ticket to Discworld Con 2024. Big anxiety, so I'm probably going to sell it, though. And obviously, I'm joking about unfollowing everyone. Oh, I knew you were joking. I knew you weren't going to follow. I mean, I feel like unfollowed, unsubscribed, blocked, and reported is just a meme at this point for saying, like, are you serious? Are you kidding right now? I really hope you're kidding right now. I'm not, though. Brigitte says, I cried when he died. I think we were putting on Eric as a stage play at the time. And then I'm sorry, you're probably gonna sell it as a result of being anxieties. I don't know what to say. I think that's the one that our friend went to, and he did have a good time, and he met a lot of really nice people. And if you wanted me to put you into contact with him so you'd have a better sense of what to expect, if you think that might help, I would definitely be willing to do that because he's lovely. But also I understand if that's not going to make a difference, and you should just feel about it however you want to feel about it and do whatever you think you need to do. And I'm proud of you for taking care of yourself, whatever you decide. Okay. Right. Stir in lemon zest. We melted our butter. We're going to stir in some lemon zest. Do. And then 2 teaspoons of grated garlic. Does it have to be grated? I don't really know how to grate a garlic. I think I'd rather not grate a garlic. Can we just chop it like a normal person? Some random geek says Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett wrote Good Omens together. I love the Amazon show of Good Omens. I never watched the Amazon show. I did read the book, and that was kind of one of the ones that I tried, because I tried one of the Discworld books and I was like, yeah, this doesn't work for me. And then when he wrote with Neil Gaiman, who I really, really love, I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll try this one. And I think the problem was that I already had kind of a conception of that story, that the large framework of that kind of a story from the Kevin Smith movie, which I actually really liked. And so I kind of wanted it to be that, and it wasn't that. And so I was kind of like, all right, well, whatever. It is what it is. I don't have to like everything. In fact, in general, for a writer that I like a lot, so Neil Gaiman, a writer that I like a lot, that I enjoy his work a lot. I don't know him personally. He may be a jerk. I have no idea. But for a writer whose own work I like a lot, I have a terrible track record with the things that he's recommended. Like the things that he recommended on social media over the years have generally tended to be things that I did not enjoy. Like he talks about Michael Moorcock sometimes, who I also did not enjoy. He highly recommended Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Have we talked about that recently? I know we've probably talked about that. I did not like that. I couldn't make it past page 120. Just generally speaking, we do not have a good track record of enjoying the same things. So I've kind of given up. Generally speaking, if Neil Gaiman likes a thing, chances are I may not, which is fine. Okay, Kara says, I'm glad I didn't experience Pratchett passing. I first read The Color of Magic when I was still heartbroken from a twisted situationship, and I cried enough later when the last book had a tribute to Pratchett. The books have a cozy, crazy nostalgia for me for only having read them 3 years ago. That's fair. Arcadia says, it's very kind, thank you. I know a few people who are going, including some Brain Mages communities, if you hang out there much. I have on occasion. I do know who you're talking about. The cryptic crossword is not is not a thing that I vibe with, so I don't hang out there very often. But I do know who you're talking about, and he is a very lovely, funny guy. I don't know if I'm a convention person, too much noise and strangers, and I naturally find a quiet corner on my own person. You may though find that it is also possible to have that kind of an experience at a convention. I'm not really a lots of noise and lots of people person either, although I don't have specific anxieties about it. But like I said, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm mostly just trying to provide an overview of a perhaps different perspective. Brigitte says maybe the Yamato summer camp stuff might be easier. Not sure if that's still going on. Neil Gaiman has an amazing narrator voice. Yeah, he does. Dogma. The Kevin Smith movie. Yeah, with what's her name as God. That was pretty good. Brigitte says the TV adaptation of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is impeccable. Though we should watch that because I'd love to experience the story, and I know the people who love it really, really love it. Like I have a romance writer friend who's super into it. It's just not for me. Let's see, Arcady says, weirdly, I noped out of even planning to go to Yamato's because that seems even more like an existing set of friends who already know each other, if that makes sense. Rationally, I know Discworld folks are lovely and welcoming. It's entirely my brain problem. That's totally fair. Some random geek loves the movie Dogma too. Okay, it's going on the watch list. All right, it's going on the watch list. Do we have a watch list? Do we? Right now, we still need to finish Way of the House Husband, but that's going to be pretty short. And then I'm not sure what else. Oh, and The Good Place. We were watching The Good Place. We're starting to watch The Good Place. Grog said he might be interested in checking out an episode of that too, so we'll see. Butter, garlic, salt, lemon pepper seasoning. I don't have lemon pepper, so we're just going to grate some pepper into this. And honestly, there's lemon juice and lemon zest, and do we really need lemon pepper? I think it's probably fine. Chopped flat leaf parsley for garnish, which I don't think we have. I think we only have cilantro, so that's fine. All right, that is one thing down. We've only been streaming for 2 hours, and we did the thing that I thought was going to take 5 minutes. That's fine. We're fine. This is fine. Okay. Such good shows. Yeah, Brigitte is trying to curate only good stuff because Brigitte is aware of the fact that I have a very limited attention span for anything that I am not really, really enjoying. And there are very few things that make that cut. There, for the most part, I would just rather be doing something else than watching television. So Brigitte is very careful about what she curates for me. Brigitte says we did some Love, Death, and Robots, but some of the better episodes are off limits because they're too scary. Yeah, they are. They're too scary. And even the ones that weren't too scary were like kind of dark in a way that I wasn't enjoying. And I don't know if that was just like an in the moment thing or if it was like a permanent thing, but it just wasn't. It just was feeling like something that just wasn't for me. Kara says, yay, back to Queen's Thief series right quick. It's got an ancient Greek journey for a sacred object vibe with the best twists. The narrator, Steve West, has a scrumptious voice. That sounds really good. Did we watch Fish Night? I don't remember us watching Fish Night. Queen's Thief. The fact that you've listed off several things that I have enjoyed leads me to believe that this is at least something that's worth checking out. So I will do that. But in the meantime, I definitely probably need to finish the Peter Wimsey books. And in fact, I'm thinking of, so you know how in January, and I'm not necessarily like exactly breaking this out by month. I'm not really like, this isn't like I have a resolution to eat less sugar in January. That isn't really what I was thinking. It was more like, I think a month is probably enough to see if limiting my sugar intake has an impact on the headaches that I've been having. So it's weird because I tend to get kind of a week of like, not even a week, like sometimes just individual days of just like not terrible, but not great headaches. And so I'm just trying different things to see if I can figure out like what impacts that. Sorry, I'm just like coughing now. And the first one was, okay, I'm going to try limiting my sugar. And while I think that is still generally speaking a good practice for me, and I think I will continue to do it, not eliminating it, just not sugar every day the way I was. I think my next quest, it's not a resolution, my next changing the vibe is going to be a little bit less screen time. And since I do have the paperbacks of the Peter Wimsey books, because I feel like the other day I was thinking it might just be Fortnite. And the thing is that like Fortnite is like very intense, right? Like, so it's very like it's a lot of concentration. It's a lot of fast moving things. It's a lot of loud noises. It's like increased heart rate because you're trying to do a thing and not die. And so initially I thought that, but then I realized yesterday after I played Lego Fortnite for a couple of hours, which Lego Fortnite is not intense at all. There are brief intense parts where there can be, but I wasn't doing that. So, and I got a headache. And so now I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's more of a screen time issue. So that's maybe where we go for February. I did see a cool running. So pop into chat. Joe, hi. How are you? It's good to see you. And Brigitte, thank you for that shout out for Joe. You guys, we've rated Joe a few times. Joe is does a lot of fitness and health content and also gaming content on his channel. He particularly tries to be inclusive in his fitness conversation. And I appreciate that a lot. He's currently training for a bodybuilding competition, which is really exciting and fun to watch. As he learns all of the various skills associated with trying to get that done. And he's just kind of really just generally a lovely guy. So if any of that kind of content appeals to you, then you should definitely drop him a follow because it's a good place to hang out. All right, so Kara says, wow, okay, don't look at the novel summaries for anything besides the first book, though, because even seeing what the second book is about will sometimes spoil the first novel, The Thief. Okay, by Megan Whalen Turner. Yeah, I found it. It's right here. So I won't look at any of the descriptions for any of the rest of the books. I'll just read the first one. And drink more water. I'm drinking tea. It's fine. No. Wait for a couple hours. I do. Okay. We do have an ad break incoming, but we've taken the step of putting the baked falafel sandwich recipe on the wall. Yay! Go us! So we will get to that when we come back, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that ad break now, so that we can get that out of the way, come back and make some falafel sandwiches. Heck yeah! All right, I will see you guys in a few minutes. Bye-bye. And we're back. Thank you so much for hanging in there and sitting through our little ad break. Brigitte asked, "What is Chester dreaming of?" and then answered her own question by saying, "I think he's kickboxing an iguana." I'm not sure Chester knows what an iguana is, but yeah, there we are. Okay, so this is so like this little thing is like pulling on my ears today. I'm gonna need to adjust this because it's like, ow. There we go. Okay, so and then Lassie said, Chester is dreaming of what it'd be like in an alternate universe where he was allowed in the kitchen and doing a cooking stream, and Leah could not enter the kitchen, which is hilarious and literally made me laugh out loud while I read it. When I read it while I was on my break. And all the donuts he could make and lick. And I think what's funny is that he's going to make the donuts and then he's just going to lick all of them. He's not actually going to eat them. He's just going to lick them. All right, Kara says, I got to get out for a bit. Hope the falafels are as scrumptious as Steve West's voice. Thank you, Kara. Thanks for popping in. It's really good to see you. I hope the rest of your day goes well. Okay, so here we go. Let's do the thing. All right, so preheat the oven to 425. Brush a baking sheet with about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Why are we just brushing baking sheets with olive oil today? Why does everybody want everything brushed? I am also going to put down aluminum foil on this one because the baking sheets are a pain to wash, and I think it's easier if I use aluminum foil. So that's what I'm going to do. And we can brush them with olive oil just as easily covered in aluminum foil as we can without it. So let's do that. All right. Alpine says brush sounds better than smear. I suppose that's true. I mean, I don't know. I feel like anytime anybody tells me to brush something, I'm like, okay, this recipe is fussy. I'm annoyed. And so, you know, I don't know. Or it's like one of those like 80s fat phobic things that's like, oh, we shouldn't eat anything that has like any kind of fats in it, like a terrible diet culture thing. And so I kind of rebel against the idea of brushing oil on things, but that's just me. Mom says, why does the dirty word eliminator not like scrumptious? It doesn't? What is it doing? It won't let you type it? I feel like there are definitely weird things that it takes issue with that don't make any sense. That I never told it to do, that it just kind of decided on its own based on its you know, I don't know, whatever. Its own little settings. All right, we have brushed the pan with oil. Lassie says the real question is, in the universe of Chester doing the cooking, what is Leah dreaming of? Why are you anti-brushing? Oh, I just answered that. Even without reading it, I answered that. What is Leah dreaming of in a world where Chester cooks? I mean, probably the same thing I would say I always dream of, but I don't really remember my dreams that often. Like, what memorable dreams have I had? I'm not really sure, where I'm not allowed in the kitchen. I mean, if I'm like him, I'm probably dreaming of like coming into the kitchen and eating the things that he dropped on the floor. All right, make falafel. Add all falafel ingredients to a food processor and pulse until coarsely ground, scraping down sides of the bowl with a spatula, and reprocessing is needed to make sure everything is combined. Don't over-process. You're looking for a bit of texture. Okay, so let's do the thing where we swap the mixer and the food processor so that you guys can kind of see this. Hold on a second. Let's move it over a little bit. There we go. And then let's do 15-ounce can of chickpeas, drained, rinsed, and dried well. Okay, so we need our chickpeas. Chickpeas. No, it just asterisks it. I can allow it, but I don't know why. Okay, so what you can actually do is there's a setting. I don't know where it is. There's a setting that turns on like safe. I might need to go back to like non-moderator view. Sorry, I look at my stream in moderator view, so I'm just hold on a second. Let's look here. If you go to the chat settings, there's like a chat settings thing, and it says oh, mine is still like moderator stuff. But there should be some things in the chat settings that makes it not asterisk anything, which is probably what you want, because my chat doesn't really get too far into the weeds that way, and I don't know that you really watch anyone else. Except maybe Corey. I don't know what to say about Corey's chat. No, Corey's chat's pretty good too. It's actually kind of a lot of the same people. Okay. All right, Lassie's got to get going. Lassie, thank you so much for hanging out. It's always really good to see you. And thank you again for your interpretation of what Chester's dreaming about. Impeccable as always. All right, so we're draining, rinsing all of these chickpeas, and then we're going to dry them with a nice clean dish towel. They don't look clean, but they are. It's coming out of the drawer. Okay. So let's actually just set this down here. I'm going to throw this like that and dry them well. I feel like I should have like a salad spinner for this or something. I don't know how well dried these are going to be. We'll do our best. Maybe while we put the rest of the ingredients out, we'll just we'll let that sit there and dry a little more. Okay, so 1 cup of fresh cilantro leaves and tender stems, which I think is probably about all we've got here. So I'm just going to cut. I'm just going to cut kind of like that much. And put the rest of this off to the side. We might need it for like garnish or something. I don't know that that's just tender stems, but that's fine. And then 1/2 of a medium yellow onion chopped. Let's get an onion here. I don't know that I have any medium onions. I have kind of mostly small onions. So maybe what we'll do is we will just chop the entire onion. Actually, Brigitte, I think Grog is going to a D&D meetup tonight. So maybe we could watch a little bit more of The Good Place. So, fun fact, falafel is lafalaf spelled backwards. Never mind, I don't want to watch TV with you later. Aha! Grog is back. All right, so there's our onion. 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Okay. Interesting. So falafel, not gluten-free. I wonder what you could use instead. Like maybe, I don't know. That's a good question.
Surprise.
What's that? Bagels! Oh yeah, lunch.
And cream cheese is in there too.
Oh, okay. I should probably throw the cream cheese in the fridge then. It's 1:22. I should make lunch.
Yeah, I can
Oh, okay. Well,
always toast up a couple of bagels.
I mean, I think probably yeah, but I might need to take a little break or something because there's like a lot of stuff in the way.
I could do
One,
I could do the grapefruit drink.
2. Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
That would be good.
Okay.
3, 4. Okay, so we might actually take a little a little unplanned grog with grog hiatus here. So, because I actually forgot all about lunch and I didn't actually realize it until just now that I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. So I think actually grog being back, what we might do is we might do a grog with grog. All right, so opting out is in favor. All right, excellent. I'm just gonna actually finish throwing all of these things in the food processor so that I'm not stopping midway through, but then we can turn things over to Grog. I'm just going to give him a few minutes he just got back from doing errands. So I'm going to give him a minute to get settled and get his stuff and his thoughts organized. And then we'll do that. Oh, right. And I have to go back to this. Okay. There. Cool. Oh, and we've got plenty of time. I'm like completely losing track of like the ad break times. It is what it is. 4 garlic cloves. Yeah, so I'm gonna acquire a third drink. I'm not entirely sure what that makes me in the universe. But I have water and iced tea, and Grog's gonna make us a grapefruit rosemary mocktail, I think, in addition to pulling together some lunch. So maybe when I sit down, I should take my my iced tea with me. Eliminate at least one drink from the equation. All right. And I'm just gonna kind of roughly chop these. I'm not gonna like try to do them too small because they're as big as the onion pieces anyway. I think Grog is ready. But I just want to finish this. Okay. Cumin, coriander. Okay, there's a lot of spices here. Okay, so we're just going to throw these in the food processor, and then we'll do all the spices. So when we come back, we're going to start with the cumin and all of that. All right. Nice. You might need a different cutting board, and you might need to wash a knife.
And this is lemon juice?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something about this because...
Here, put it in this.
Yeah.
Because you have to juice a what's its? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, and the other problem is I only was able to get one of my mics back up and running. Hold on a second.
All right.
I might have to have you unwire me briefly.
Or I could just pantomime.
I don't think you should pantomime. Ah, okay. I have unplugged and replugged. It is all better. Okay, so give me a second. Hi. All right, we have switched mics. Grog is going to make us some lunch, and a grapefruit rosemary mocktail that I discovered the other day. And I will be back after he has accomplished those things. I think probably. I'll see you guys in a minute.
Well, if you don't come back, I'm going to have to figure out something else to do, and unless you want me rolling up characters on stream.
I suspect there's an audience for that amongst our friends.
Anyways, good afternoon. Name is Grognar Gormand. I am making lunch and drinks. To start with, I'm going to start lunch, which in this case is just cutting and toasting freshly bought bagels. Get that out of the way. Okay. Yep. Had the day off for dentist and blood tests. And there will be more dentist fun next week. Yay. Alright, so while the bagel is toasting, I will juice the grapefruit. Normally this would also call for grapefruit as a garnish, but I don't think we're going to have enough grapefruit to go around for that.
Isn't there
So
some grapefruit juice in the fridge?
no, yeah, but not enough for a whole drink.
Could you juice half a grapefruit?
I have no idea if that's going to be enough. And I would rather have juice than
Garnish?
garnish.
Okay, that's fair.
Alright. Leah narrates Grog with Grog instead of having lunch. That kind of negates the point of her actually getting a break in all of this. Alright.
I'm pouring melted butter and lemon juice and pepper and garlic over the top of this cabbage. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven for 5 minutes, which is what the recipe says to do.
Alright. Alright, so we have the grapefruit juice. Alright, now for the rim on the glass, which, brace yourselves for this one, folks, because this is very interesting. The rim on the glass is composed of correct button.
Isn't it tahini and sugar?
No, it's wait. Here we go. Yes. 1 tablespoon of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, so we'll start with this. Alright, so 1 tablespoon granulated sugar. 1. These are half tablespoons. Whole tablespoon. And a 1/4 teaspoon, or 2/8 of a teaspoon, of smoked paprika. Now, we have made this before. This is good, so don't let the weird ingredients freak you all out. Alright. Paprika there. Alright. 1 bagel done. Second bagel in the toaster. And let's mix up the dusting for the rim of the glasses. Like so. And now we rim the glasses. It's all good. Use grapefruit juice for this. And here are glasses. Normally I would be a little bit more cautious and such with this, but would like to make sure I don't totally steal all of Leah's time.
No, you're fine.
There's one, and two. All right.
Thursdays particularly are a day when there's just really no rush.
Good to know. All right, now for the drink itself. In this case, I'm going to mix it in the glasses because there is a carbonated component, and I once accidentally tried to shake a drink with a carbonated component, and let's just say the results were explosive. All right, so we will start out with
I can smell this. It needs to come out.
3/4 of an ounce of rosemary syrup, which I made prior to this. It's basically rosemary simple syrup. And there is absolutely no question that taste the rosemary taste definitely comes through. Followed up, each glass will receive 3 ounces of grapefruit juice. So, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And I was right that there was absolutely zero margin for error on this one. And finally, to top it off, a little dose of grapefruit sparkling water. This is what we use. It's the good stuff. I will not try to pronounce it, lest I get Leah and or Mops mad at me. Oh, this one is not yet frozen. This one is fine.
There's not very many ices, so I used them.
Just one each will suffice. So, good. 1, 2, 3. ice to keep it cold. And though we don't have the grapefruit for the decor, we do have rosemary sprigs. One for each. And that is it. That is the grapefruit and rosemary mocktail spritz. That is good. Deliver this one for Leah. And now for lunch. Normally Leah would get these grapes look kind of sad. I think we're going to have to let those stay off screen. But I will have an apple. Leah usually has cream cheese on hers. I think for mine I'm just going to do peanut butter and preserves, although with a special twist, and I'll get to that in a second. But first, fresh bagels and fresh cream cheese from the local bagel shop. I love the glasses, by the way. Yes, they're new to us-ish, but they're not really new at all. Oh, and by the way, hello, Peaches. Looking forward to seeing you come back to streaming on Saturday. Cream cheese. So, and just a little extra protein, and we'll throw some nuts in there. There. Okay. I will deliver Leah's lunch to her, and I will be right back. And now for my lunch. Peanut butter and, normal peanut butter and jelly, but it's actually peanut butter and cherry preserve. Like I said, I'm going to add a little special twist to this one, which I will get to in just a second. Just the peanut butter down. The cherry. Alright, and now, as promised, the special twist. Now I know Leah has mentioned, hashtag not sponsored, imperfect foods here on several occasions, and they will, on some of those occasions, give us something really unusual. A couple of weeks ago, they gave us a packet of this. unsweetened organic cocoa nibs. And what we have discovered is that you can take these cocoa nibs and just sprinkle them on a peanut butter and bread product. Just to spritz it up a bit. And also some extra protein for me. Although I don't need it as much as Leah does because I'm actually having a peanut product on my bagel. And other than there would usually be more fresh fruit involved in this, but we're at the end of a grocery cycle and it's pretty much all run out. This is the last apple in the house, but this is typical fire kitchen lunch. All right. Let's see. See, yeah, Peaches and Opting both appreciate this. Wait, who's supposed to poke me about what? I don't want to try and zoom up in the, or pan up in the chat because I might break something. Well, I'm sure Leah will remind me at some point after stream. Put it on, yeah. Oh. Put it on some ice cream. Yeah, that would probably work too. Speaking of which, I actually got some new non-dairy ice cream the other night. And I have not yet gotten around to trying it. Evidently, it's made out of avocado oil. Tiki drinks. There are a number of tiki drinks that do use honey syrup. I'm trying to remember which one's off the top of my head, but yes, that definitely is a thing.
Yeah, so after stream, delve into your archives and see if you can find some. I know you made honey syrup or something.
I can definitely do that. Besides, it's been too long since I actually did a for real tiki drink on stream. I need to do that anyways.
I just really haven't been drinking that much.
Mother-in-law puts it on top of sorbet with melted chocolate. That sounds good. Yeah, particularly raspberry. See, the chickpea concoction is ready to go. I'm just sorry. I've been gone most of the stream, so I'm kind of nosy as about what's going on. We got the roasted,
You
roasted
should try
cab.
one of the leaves and tell me what you think.
I
It's
had-
pretty good.
I'm gonna do that. Yes. The answer to the question is yes.
Alright.
Oh, I'm being kicked out, which is probably a good thing because I've run out of things to say. I will be happy to turn everything back over to Leah.
Please don't spill my drinks.
I will not spill your drinks.
Now I'm triple fisting. Which is interesting because I only have 2 fists. And mixed nuts for snacking.
First, though, we changed the mic back. Hi. Hello. I'm back. I consumed nourishment. So, I really liked this mocktail. I was also avoiding alcohol because I don't sleep well when I drink alcohol. Getting old as hell, you guys. Wait, okay. Pete. Yeah, thanks for the Grogger mission. The Grogger lewd. That was really good. Yes, thank you, darling. I appreciate the brief rest and the chance to actually eat my lunch without like having to stand here in the kitchen and do it. Peach has a question. This is actually a very interesting question, so pay attention. I have a question for y'all. Do you fold the sheets and towels when you put them in the wash? My mom says she and my brother do because they wash better, but I don't see that logic working. Peach, I'm with you. I don't see that logic working either. Opting out says currently coffee, alcohol, and driving are all forbidden until I see that cardiologist who won't call because they aren't your dentist's assistant. They're not my dentist's assistant. I'm sorry they won't call you back because that's an entire category of 3 things that would be very difficult for me to live without. Peach says, okay, thank you. I thought I was growing crazy. I'm very confused by the idea of folding something and then putting it in the wash. Grog says they're just gonna tumble out of shape during the wash anyways. Agreed. I feel like it would be the opposite. I also feel like it would be the opposite. Grog says if they were to come out of the wash folded, I would be very impressed. That is also true. She swears they just wash just fine. It just seems like an unnecessary extra step to me. It also seems like the kind of thing that you might get told, did you fold those towels before you put them in the wash? After being with your family for 7 weeks. Sorry, still eating. Arcadia says, I am also confused given my t-shirt's ability to entirely turn themselves inside out even during a short wash. There you go. Oh, I just dropped a nut on the floor. Oh well, that's what sweeping the floor is for. Beatrice says she's too OCD about these things. I just let her do the laundry. Some random geek says I folded them and unfolded them before them in the wash. So yes, they were folded before they went into the wash. Excellent answer. Opting out says it's the vortex that pulls out the single socks. Sometimes the shirt gets turned around in the wake. Oh, is that what happens? I understand. All right, let's go back to these falafel sandwiches. Okay. Good news and bad news. The good news is we are probably going to get through making the falafel sandwiches before the scheduled end of stream. Exciting! Yay! Go us! The bad news is I think I'm probably going to skip the veggie chips today. Not only did I not think through the sheer volume of cabbage that we would have available to us as a side dish to go with these sandwiches, I tend to personally hit a wall in the kitchen around the 4-hour mark. I can push it if I have to, or if it is cabbages. or if it is good for the stream for me to do so. Today is probably not one of those days. So I think I'm probably just going to do the falafel and then put them in the oven. And we're going to skip the veggie chips today. But we will do that at some point in the future, or I will like do it off stream and take pictures, or I don't know, something. Maybe I'll do it in Discord. But what that does remind me is that thank you for that, Arcadia. Is that we have many other things happening this week. The first thing that is happening is that tomorrow I'm going to be streaming Hades like normal, but then Saturday at 2:00 Eastern time, it is movie night in Discord. We are going to be watching the classic dino flick, Rawr, Jurassic Park. So if you want to join us for that, sign up for that in Discord, and it will send you a handy dandy little reminder when we decide to start that. The third thing is that Sunday I will be live again with our friend Paul STL. We're gonna play some Lego Fortnite at 1:00 Eastern. I keep screwing this up, so I have to think through it. 1:00 Eastern, we're going to be playing some Lego Fortnite together. We've just kind of worked out all the details. It's going to be a good time. So there will be several other opportunities this week, both on Friday and on Sunday, for me to at least show off veggie chips, because this parsnip is not going to last forever. So we want to make sure that we get that done and don't waste those. So that would be a good thing for me to do, probably. I don't know, either tomorrow morning or Saturday before movie night or something. I don't know. So you guys will eventually see some veggie chips, just not on stream today. Just letting you know where we're at. Right. So let's go ahead and get the rest of this falafel pulled together. 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 4 garlic cloves, cumin. I need more measuring spoons. Where are they? Don't I have more measuring spoons? Yeah, they're here. All right. So we need cumin, which I happen to know. This is actually one of those interesting things. I happen to know that in Spanish it's comino. And the reason that I know that is that I once had a protracted conversation with someone who knew what the thing was in Spanish, but didn't know what it was in English. And so it took us a while to get from comino to cumin. And so now I know that that's what it is in Spanish. And I have retained that for 20 plus years as a result of that conversation. Okay. Coriander, not celery seed, not bay leaves. There's the coriander. Cayenne, which I don't have, and cinnamon. Cinnamon. Veggie chips for movie night. Exactly. Opting out says we should take out all of the walls when we do the kitchen renos. I don't think we're allowed to do that. I think the condo board would not let us do that. But why should we take out all the walls? Out of curiosity. Yeah, but veggie chips for a movie night is actually a really good idea. I think last time I popped microwave popcorn because when my parents visited in November, they actually left us some microwave popcorn. Otherwise, it's not the kind of thing that I typically keep around. And so that was good. But veggie chips would also be good. Coriander. No. I actually suspect that Corey may be working today. So 1 tablespoon of cumin. So I need this and this. Okay. Isn't it weird the things that we retain? We were talking about languages on Tuesday, and it was an interesting conversation. Isn't it strange the things that we retain in second languages or third or fourth or fifth languages and the things that we don't? Like I can't remember. I can't I know how to say like good morning, good evening, good night in Welsh, but I don't know how to say just hello? But I do know, and we'll never ever forget, that this thing is called a panas. I don't know, whatever. Maybe it's just food things that I retain. 1 tablespoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of ground coriander. Okay, so 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to do 4 of these because this is a half teaspoon. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I need a 1/4 teaspoon because I didn't grab one of those. Some Random Geek says I love popcorn. I even have popcorn unsalted and unbuttered a lot. Interesting. So one of the things that happened when we got our unexpectedly enormous Imperfect Foods order, when I forgot to edit our cart before it shipped, was an entire bag of just regular popcorn kernels. So one of the things that we will do on stream at some point, I don't know when, probably won't be next week or anything. One of the things that we will do is that we will manually pop popcorn, which is something I used to do at the bakery a lot, but that I haven't done since then. So that'll be fun. I got one of those hot air popcorn poppers. There you go. Yeah, see, that's probably cool, but you can do it in a pan on the stove too. And I will show you how. Okay, so a teaspoon of kosher salt. At some point, we're going to have to get more kosher salt. I thought we would never get through this container. It's probably been over a year. It was one of those things that I was so kind of surprised last year that had gotten like really randomly expensive. And I was like, okay, odd. Was kosher salt. But of course, the kosher salt in the actual kosher section of the grocery store was actually $3 cheaper than the exact same container of kosher salt in the baking section at my grocery store. That was bizarre. A teaspoon of lemon juice, which thankfully we have right here. 1, 2, because I'm actually using a half teaspoon to measure this out. Grog says, I think we've had our kosher salt longer than that. I remember buying it. I remember buying it when I was streaming, so it's been within the last 2 years. No cayenne because I don't have any, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, which is right here. And I think that's it. Coarsely ground, scraping down the sides of the bowl, using your mixture for 16 heaping tablespoon-sized balls and place on the sheet. Okay. Nice. It smells like falafel. That's exciting. It smells right. Oh my gosh, it smells really good and it isn't even cooked yet. I'm not quite sure what they mean by some texture, but I'm relatively certain they don't mean entire whole chickpeas. So let's go with that. I think I'm going to have to put this in a bowl so that I don't cut myself on that very sharp blade. But I think that's okay. There we go. Says if I have spicy paprika, that's a sub for cayenne. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it out. I honestly don't think of falafel as being a particularly spicy thing, so I'm not unhappy to not have it. And cayenne is one of the things that can occasionally set me off. So I've just kind of been avoiding it. I haven't even replaced it just because it's kind of like, I love spicy food, but it just doesn't always love me. All right. 16 balls. Ooh, that's very wet. Okay. If my mix were that wet and I was making it from a mix, I would add more flour. But we are going to take their word for it that this is the right thing. How big are these? 16 heaping tablespoon-sized balls. That's a little bit bigger than a tablespoon, but I'm appropriately dividing it, so it's going to be what it is. Pepper flakes or chili powder also work, but you're right, it's not essential. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it out. There's going to be a lot going on in these sandwiches, so I'm not particularly worried about a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Well, okay, so I have to say this isn't as easy as just mixing the mix with water like you do with the stuff that I've made before from a box. But what I will say, oops, there's a cilantro piece in there. But what I will say is if you have a food processor, this is pretty dang easy. And that being the case, I might actually, oh, this is only 8. These are supposed to be smaller than this. Theirs are supposed to be cut in half. Nice. Okay. Well, that's fine. I almost had it right. So we'll just cut all of these in half. Oh my God. I'd really say this is more of like a heaping teaspoon, but that's okay. The other thing is that one of the things that I've noted about the mix that I've made in the past is that I have a tendency to prefer them fried, so it will be interesting to see how these are baked. I know when I make the mix, I always pan fry them because I think it's better. But we'll see. We'll see if the homemade kind is better baked. Looks like falafel. Pretty pleased by that. Three, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Perfect. Okay, so that's exactly what we were supposed to do. All right, excellent. Let me wash my hands because I'm covered in falafel mix. All right. Excellent. Now, there's the nut that I dropped. Oh, okay. We have some incoming ads. This is actually not a bad place to take a quick break because we are moving on to our roasted red pepper salad that is going to go on top of these falafel sandwiches. So why don't we go ahead and preemptively take a quick break? It's like the missile incoming thing that you're now getting from being rocket launched in Fortnite. Yeah, I think the message is more alarming than the actual rocket thus far. Okay. So, we're going to take a quick break. I am going to put something else on the screen for those of you who are subscribed. Those of you who are not subscribed may see a few ads, but I will appreciate you sticking through all of that, and then rejoining us in 3 more minutes to continue our falafel sandwiches. I will be right back. You heard it. Leah's cunning plan was to be too hot. This channel gets spicier and spicier. Indeed it does. In fact, we have just made hot and sticky. We were talking about squirrels. Because this is for all you Ugg boot wearing, pumpkin spice latte drinking, Stanley tumbler in 10 colors having basic bees. Okay, it's got 4 ingredients and one of them is optional. The definition of 1 HP in a dream. Oh my god. No, I died.
Made it. Barely.
Wait, what?
This holds some sort of power, but for what?
She died! I won! We both died! I'm going to turn the stream over to my husband and moderator, Grognar Gourmand, who is going to do something and bless us all with his cocktail wisdom. I will be back. I will not be back because I just turned one straight into the refrigerator door. I'm just going to stand here. I hate you guys.
Glaring at Byron.
Why are you glaring at Byron? Byron says you got him a copy of Will Smith's hit single Switch.
No.
I could.
You could. But you won't.
All right. Oops, that's...
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yes. Yes, Grog provided the Shrek. Cowboy the Carrion. Okay, so we're gonna do me Grimlock say you full of cesium salami. And then it's gonna be I can't do the song, unfortunately.
All I got is we should have had hats for that.
So Nether says, you know what happens when in Clue or Cluedo, depending on territory, you've correctly proved that it's not the yellow character? I don't know, Nether.
They got the mustard.
Nether, you're a genius. That was so good.
Hi, I'm back. I have acquired for myself some bell peppers, and we are going to cut these so that we can roast them. Wait. Cut into 3/4 inch strips. Yes, okay. I was going to say I think we're going to cut these. And yes, we are in fact going to cut these. That is in fact the plan. So I don't know how like I don't know how like authentic this is, but it sounded good to me. So we're rolling with it. I know. Oh, actually that one's got a little spot on it. Cut that off. All right. Some random geek has a joke for us. I gather some random geek is entirely awake now, after being tired earlier. Because here is the joke that he has provided us. I've got a great joke about construction, but I'm still working on it. No, you're still tired. All right. Well, we tried. So bad. So bad. I like having you around. I'm really glad I joined that random Fortnite Discord. Random for me, given that I don't actually consume very many people's Fortnite YouTube content. But I mean, obviously, like, I don't know if everyone is amazing, but like the few people that I have particularly latched onto, Jonathan and Vix and a couple of others, I'm like, you know what? This is like the cream of the crop of the Fortnite universe, I think. Okay. All right. Cutting, it says 3/4 inch strips. I mean, these are going to end up being more like 1/2 inch strips just based on how I cut this, but it'll be okay, I guess. Some random geek says, I'm glad you randomly watched my stream and checked me out, and I'm glad I checked out this place. I love it here. I'm so glad. Yeah, you know, it was so funny because I think you said on your stream when you were telling your folks about who I was that you liked the fact that, you know, I'm a cis woman who has like my pronouns in my stream bio, and I'm like, you know, it's so funny that you say that because that's kind of a category that I kind of use for people too. It's kind of like it's not a guarantee that if somebody has pronouns in their bio that they're going to be a good person, you know what I mean? But like, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction. It basically says to me that at least I am aware of the, I don't know, whatever it is, 30% of existence that doesn't necessarily conform to established, you know, whatever, societal constructs about gender. And it just kind of like, and especially in the Fortnite community where you're kind of like, you're not really sure who you're running into on any given day. Like seeing that, I was like, okay, all right. This seems like this could be a good place. And so it is nice to be able to kind of like find people who also sort of also prioritize sort of creating, I mean, you know, and I don't know that I'm like the absolute best at this. I think there are a lot of people out there who are more like actively and carefully inclusive than I am. Joe, for instance, our friend Cool Runnings, like he always remembers when someone raids to be like, you know, my pronouns are he, him, and that's fantastic. And I almost never remember to say that when someone raids. And I should, right? Because like, why not? Why wouldn't I say that? Like, that's a perfect, like, that's what you say when you're meeting someone new, right? It's just, it never occurs to me. So there are people who do a better job of it than I do, but I'm trying. Okay. Cutting an onion. Ta-da. There's an onion. What else? 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, kosher salt, fresh ground pepper. Oh, more cilantro. Well, that's going to be a problem. And we'll just we'll do what we can. Roast the vegetables. Toss the peppers and onions with a tablespoon of oil, seasoned with salt and pepper. Okay, so I've got my baking sheet here. I'm gonna put it on my laptop for just a moment. Some random geek is non-binary, so I always appreciate pronouns in bios. Yes. I think that's just kind of good for everyone. And it is kind of funny that it has become a cultural touchstone when it's just kind of like, you know, this is just a really basic, obvious thing that you should just do. Yep. That's just my view. Okay. So, oh, shoot. I dropped some of my onion on the floor. I didn't even notice. We'll throw that out. Okay. So, tablespoon of olive oil. Right. So let's just, hold on a second. You guys can't see that. Now you can. A tablespoon of olive oil. There. And then toss. Good enough. Salt. Why it has to be kosher salt, I'm not entirely sure, but that's fine. This will work. I'm using sea salt just because I don't want to get the kosher salt out again. And pepper. All right. And then into the oven this goes for... Oh, all of these go into the oven together. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Bake falafel and vegetables for 10 minutes. Cool. I like that. That's good. One. Actually, I think the vegetables are going to go in on the bottom instead of on the top. Also, that tray is going to be hot. All right. 10 minutes. And then we're going to do the tahini sauce, which is only going to take a few minutes, but we're still going to do it. Okay, where's the tahini? I think that might be in the cabinet because we haven't opened it yet. Yeah, here it is. So, tahini, lemon juice. That's actually perfect. I think that might be just exactly the right amount of lemon juice. It might be too little, but we'll try. I need another large measuring spoon because all of mine have disappeared. We had to measure a lot of things today. Of course, we've done a lot today, even though that's one. How much lemon juice? 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We're going to get close, but not quite. So I'm just going to grab some from the fridge and supplement that with the bottled lemon juice. So one more lemon juice. All right. Ta-da. Although I think I should probably hang on to that because it's the only one that I have left in that size. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start converting things, and that's a little harder. Okay, so a 1/4 cup of tahini, a 1/4 cup of water. What the hell is going on with this thing? What is up with this? How do I open this? It doesn't say. I mean, it's not like setting my kitchen on fire, but I am a struggle now. How does this work? Like, it feels like I should be able to tear this part, but like there's not enough of it to grip onto, and it's like, oh, I did it. Okay. Yeah, I just had to get it started with a nail. It's not a very accessible package design. And there's plastic on the inside. Okay. This looks like this is going to need to be stirred. You get a spoon. And before I get all messy, let me get a measuring cup too. Oh, okay. Quarter cup. Nice. Stir. Oh, it's not as separated as I thought. It's just very liquidy. I feel like most tahini isn't quite this liquidy. This is interesting. This one is an allergen-free brand. It's Leor. Non-GMO, pure ground sesame. It's gluten-free and, I don't know, whatever. And I bought this brand because I know that the Wegmans, one of the things I don't do a lot with tahini, and when I make like hummus and stuff, I kind of often leave it out because sometimes it tastes really bitter to me. And so I hoped that by getting a brand other than the store brand, which is the one I've tried before, that it wouldn't be bitter. That seems better than the store brand that I've had, but it's still a little bitter. So we'll see. Wonder if I can could I spoon it into the measuring cup? Maybe. It's more liquidy than I expected. I usually expect tahini to be a little more solid than this. Maybe it's just because I'm usually storing it in the fridge. Or maybe I just have an erroneous impression based on the store brand that I usually buy because it's there and cheap. All right, there we go. All right. And then a cup of water. Oh, quarter cup of water. I'm just going to bring this over here real quick so that I can measure the water out without spilling it. All right. 1 garlic clove, grated or finely minced, and kosher salt. Okay, well, let's grab the kosher salt then, because it keeps insisting. Seems like enough. And then garlic, more garlic. We've gone through a lot of garlic today. Holy heck. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. I like garlic. The air conditioning just kicked on again. I think after stream, once I'm not as worried about noise, I might actually open the windows. It seems kind of silly to have the air conditioning on in January. All right, that's probably fine enough. Okay. And a whisk. Some random geek likes garlic too. How would you not like garlic? I know there are people who don't, but I think it's delicious. Okay, this is really, really weird. I really feel like this is really liquidy. Maybe I didn't need to put so much water in it because the tahini was so liquidy. This is so liquidy. It's gonna be like pouring water on the falafel. This is so bizarre. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like hummus, it will set up a little more, right? That's a thing that happens. I wonder if this will set up a little bit more in the fridge. That's, I don't know if I want that on my falafel. Um, that I don't know how I feel about that. That's too liquidy. Like, how are you really gonna like put that on a sandwich without it like turning into like a soup? Let me taste it and see if it's even good. It's all right. It's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I want dill. Like, I feel like I'd be more inclined to eat this like with some additional tzatziki. I'm gonna put it in the fridge and see what happens. I feel like hopefully it'll set up a little bit because that's really liquidy. Maybe some thickener. I mean, maybe. If it's super, super liquidy, I might add some like cornstarch or something just because I don't want it to like soak through the sandwich, you know? All right, opting out says, uh-oh. Two nuns are driving along when a vampire jumps onto the car. Quick, show him your cross, says the first nun. At which point the second nun leans out the window and yells, "Fuck off, you wanker!" Your cross. Eat, shoots, and leaves. Why are we talking about pandas? I thank goodness that was a pun because y'all are gonna make me like start thinking that I needed a dad joke counter or something. All right, so we have to bake the falafel using a spatula to flip each one and stir the peppers. All right, let's do that. Give me just a moment. I'm gonna grab a spatula. And then how long are we setting a timer for? 10 to 15 minutes more. Okay. So these have kind of flattened out, which I think is interesting. I don't know how to, I mean, I'll show you. They're kind of turning into like, okay, so do you guys know what a quenelle is? In very, very fancy pastry circles, you scoop things in a certain way so that they flatten out, so that they look kind of like a football, like an American football. And these are so soft that flipping them is kind of quenelling them. I can do it. It just takes a lot of concentration, and it's an entirely looks-based thing, and it isn't worth it to me. So I don't typically. But if you guys want me to, want me to show you quenelles, then I can do that. The only problem is that a lot of the time you do it with dairy products, which makes it a little bit complicated for us. Things like honeyed ricotta cheese or like whipped cream is the classic one. But apparently you could potentially also do it with falafel mix. All right. Back into the oven you go. I'm going to set the timer for 10 more minutes. We're going to start with that. It smells so good. I love the way Middle Eastern cuisine uses cinnamon. A lot of the Lebanese restaurants that we like a lot, cinnamon and cardamom, that like hint of, ooh, what is that? Is incredibly delicious. It makes me really happy. Oh no. Okay. All right. It's the title of a book on the ambiguity of language. I see. What a difference an apostrophe makes. Yes. Arcadia says it's why pandas in restaurants are dangerous. Yes. Who's your favorite vampire? Opting out says the one from Sesame Street. Oh, he doesn't count. Grog's favorite vampire is Strahd. Arcadia loves that joke. Some random geek also loves that joke, so you know it was bad. Oh no. Some random geek says, when is a joke a dad joke? When it's apparent. I have to hit the pun button again, don't I? Brigitte says, I prefer the Brigitte way of using cinnamon, where you sift it gently over a trash can. Brigitte! It's delicious. And if you had proper Lebanese food, you would also think it was delicious. Brigitte's favorite vampire might be Marceline. Mom says, is the Sesame Street vampire a pun? I don't know. If it was, I missed it. Only moderators can oh no. Wait. Shouldn't everybody be able to bean ban? Maybe that's a VIP thing. I can't remember. Heck. Let's look. Maybe I made it a VIP thing. Yes, it is. It is mods. It is user mods and VIPs. Sorry. I probably need to put together some kind of comprehensive list of benefits that VIPs receive so that y'all can be clear on it. It gives us something to work towards, Arcadia. Some random geek says, it is. Oh, he doesn't count. Oh, but I assure you, he does, right? Because he's Count Chocula. He's the Count. I don't know. Count Chocula is a cereal. Do they still make Count Chocula? I don't know. It wasn't one of those things that we were really ever allowed to have. Which is fine. I just never developed a taste for it. Do they? Oh, interesting. Okay. I might have to try that just for science. The same way we tried pumpkin spice Twinkies. Let's try Count Chocula for science. They have seasonal ones too. Can we get pumpkin spice Count Chocula cereal? Because if so, I'll try it. It's terrible. I'm down to one drink, you guys. I have only grapefruit rosemary mocktail. Delicious. Right. Okay. So what else do we have to do here? We're going to chop up a 1/4 cup of pickled tomatoes. We already did the tahini sauce. We need pitas for serving, which is actually fine. I think basically we're just waiting for the vegetables to be done. I think also add the cilantro, pickles, and lemon juice to the baking sheet with the roast vegetables and toss to combine. So I guess that's supposed to be warm? How do you guys feel about warm pickles? I know people fry them, okay? And I've had fried pickles in the past. But it's not one of those things that I crave. Let's just put it that way. Brigitte says in the UK, Count Chocula is called Derek's Chalky Walky Brecky Shape Doodles. Opting out says, is she kidding? Is she not? So plausible. Brigitte says fried pickles are S tier. Arcadia can confirm that that is what it is called in the UK. I don't know that I would trust Arcadia though. I'm sorry. You are another one of those who is much more likely to go, hey, yes, and then wait. Does this fried pickles? Heck yes. Just a regular pickle, warm? Meh. Some random geek is not the biggest fan of pickles anyway, or I have no opinion. Mom says while you were cooking, I made healthy blueberry oat things. They have no flavor. Texture is interesting, but they're a bit crumbly. Not sure this works, but the blueberries are delicious. Well, that's good. I mean, maybe you could crumble it on top of ice cream or something. Arcadia loves a bowl of Derek's. Sunny can confirm. What are we confirming, Sunny? Also, hi. How are you, Shark Shark? Arcadia says, wow, feeling personally attacked here. It was a compliment. It was like telling Dr. Andy that I'd die in a trench with him. It was a compliment. Based on some of my chatter's unique ability to improvise nonsense at the drop of a hat. Opting out says, damn it, now I'm gonna have to fry some pickles. AFK for a bit. You're literally gonna go fry pickles. All right, bye opting out. Have fun with your pickles. Sunny says, I've decided to draft a dress. Cool. Brigitte says, nice bowl of Derek's and a glass of Shaky Drake. Is that also a thing? What are you talking about? Is it a thing? I have to scroll up. What did you call it? Arcadia says traditional English breakfast. Count Chocula is called Derek's Chalky Walkie Brecky Shape Doodles. There's no way that's a real thing. There's no way. I don't believe you. I don't believe either one of you. And I don't know what Shaky Jake is, but it sounds skeptical face. What did I say I was doing? I guess I'm not doing anything. I think I'm just waiting for the red pepper salad because I don't think I'm going to toss cilantro, pickles, and lemon juice on the baking sheet after the roasted vegetables. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss the chopped pickled green tomatoes with the remainder of the cilantro and add some lemon juice. And I'm going to throw that in on top of the falafel and the roasted vegetables and the tahini, and then the lemon juice and cilantro and pickles on top. That's what I think I'm going to do. Because I don't want a hot pickle. Who wants a hot pickle? Brigitte says Shaky Jake, it's a real milkshake. Some random geek likes English breakfast. I also like English breakfast. Geek says, "Come on, the U.S. has some weird names of food and brand name foods too." What's the weirdest brand name food that you can think of? I'm gonna have to think this through. I feel like out of context, almost anything is funny, right? Maybe not anything. I'm trying to think now. What do we have? Do we have any interesting brand names of things? Lay's, Brigitte, fine. But don't you guys have those too? I mean, okay, so it's like snack foods, right? Okay, so Oreo, Chips Ahoy, Nilla wafers, like Cheez-Its, the official snack of gamers everywhere. All right, Grog has redeemed a random Grogopedia entry for himself, which is Shaky Jake, sometimes Shakin' Jake. Born Jake Woods in Little Rock, Arkansas, was a street musician and storyteller well known to students and residents of Ann Arbor, Michigan, from the time of his arrival there in 1973 until his death. Woods, who had moved as a child with his family from Little Rock to Saginaw, Michigan, traveled from Saginaw to Ann Arbor for a brief appearance at the Ann Arbor Blues Festival in 1973 and decided to stay. Brigitte says in the UK, Lays are called Walkers. Some random geek thinks Hot Pockets is funny. In along the same lines as Lays, I guess. All right, let me just let's toss this around. I mean, I think these are fine. These seem done enough. Although I think personally I would probably cut them smaller. I don't know what it is this weekend. People who want me to put like enormous chunky things on enormous chunky things on sandwiches. Like I don't get it. Like if I'm supposed to pick this, or in tacos, like if I'm supposed to pick this up and bite it, an enormous chunky thing is just gonna fall out. These are still, some of them, a bit soft, but it does say to let it set for 5 minutes, so I think they're gonna firm up. So I think we're just gonna leave it because I don't want to overbake them. So let's just do that. So all of this is actually for dinner later, which means that because we have decided to save the root veggie chips for another day, we are done with stream. Only 15 minutes late, despite the fact that I started a full 40 minutes late because of tech issues. Anyway, we did great. We had a complete hour plus of nonsense. Then we had 2 raids, and then we kind of made like falafel and cabbage, and that's great. We did great. Grog says cough, Marmite cough. You think Marmite is a weird word? I don't know. It's just a thing. Some random geek says, have you never heard of the brand name of Hot Pockets before? How would you know that's a food item? That's fair. That is fair. But I feel like that's true of a lot of things though. I mean, like, what's an Oreo? Like it doesn't even sound like, how do you know that that's 2 chocolate cookies with cream in the middle? How do you know that? I mean, at least Chips Ahoy, you're kind of like, oh, okay, so there's chips of some kind. They mean chocolate chips, but they could mean crisps. You know, who knows? Some random geek wants to know what a hot dish is. Well, that's a casserole, but I'm not from the Midwest, so I don't make those. Brigitte says Oreo is a state in the Pacific Northwest of the USA. I know Brigitte means Oregon, and that means that I have to push the pun button. No, Oregon is the spice. Oh no, now Oregon is oregano, and now we have to push the pun button again. All right. I am getting tired and I would like to sit down. So, Oregano? No, that is not a thing. That's not a thing. All right. I'm going to take a quick look around and see who we have live that we might like to raid. Aha. Yes. Okay. I am actually going to go ahead and raid Commander Shepard here, who is playing Star Wars The Old Republic. And I know we have some fans of that hanging around. So we're going to do that in just a minute. But first, I am going to give some shout outs here. Thank you very much, Grog, for bringing me a parsnip that we did not yet use. Sorry. And making lunch and making a delicious mocktail for us. I appreciate you so much. And I'm glad that you're home so that now we can just chill and hang out. Next up is our friend Des Dabbles, who is currently playing God of War Ragnarok and Dark Souls 1 Remastered. Des should be playing Dark Souls tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. She is very much looking forward to more boss battles, which I think is really funny because I was trying to beat brutes in Lego Fortnite yesterday and dying, and Brigitte was like, you just have to learn their patterns. And I'm like, this is Lego Fortnite, not Dark Souls. Anyway, so Des is a badass gamer, and you should follow her and come hang out over there because she's great. Next up is indeed the aforementioned Byron Mask. Thank you so much for moderating the stream. Go ahead and follow Brigitte for a heads up when she gets back to streaming on a regular basis. And last but not least, Dr. Andy23, who is going to be live later today playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I believe that today is going to be the swan song, the final act, the culmination, the climax, and denouement, incidentally, of Reggiano Shepherd, because I think they're going to finish ME3 tonight. So, community mealtime starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. Mass Effect starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is bound to be a party tonight, so swing on by for that. Some random geek says you can still learn their patterns for your benefit. Y'all are not helping. You're supposed to say, yeah, boss battles are annoying. And then next up, I have in fact got various social medias. I'm on Instagram and Threads if you would like to follow me in either one of those places. We also have a Discord where we do things like play Fortnite, Lego Fortnite and otherwise. In addition to having a movie night on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be watching Jurassic Park. And then the occasional Jackbox community night, and all manner of other shenanigans. If you like the shenanigans that happen here, there are additional shenanigans to be had in Discord. I got to be honest. And then finally, I think. Oh, right. And don't forget Sunday. I'm going to be streaming with our friend Paul STL. In fact, let's give Paul a quick shout out because he should also be live at some point tomorrow. Yes. So playing Lego Fortnite on Sunday with Paul STL. We're going to be co-streaming. I'm going to be streaming on my channel. He's going to be streaming on his channel. You should be able to get both perspectives via a multi-stream. But this way you have his information if you'd like to drop him a follow and split your time if you prefer handling streams that way. Okay. Opting out says y'all are a bad influence. Fried pickles are in fact delicious. You just spontaneously fried some pickles and made it back before the end of stream. Can you please loan me some of your efficiency? Because clearly I don't have it. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying them. They in my view, I think they're like a southern delicacy, but I'm not a huge fan. They're not terrible. I will eat them, but they're not a thing that I desire on a routine basis. Right. So let's go ahead and throw the raid out here. I copied that thing. Right. So we are going to go ahead and raid Commander Shepard here. Commander Shepard does in fact play Fortnite, but right now he is currently playing Star Wars The Old Republic. And like I said, I know we have some fans of that here. So if you could, if you have any inclination or time this afternoon to go check out someone new and cool, Commander Shepard is a prodigious Mass Effect Legendary Edition modder. So he does a lot of modded Mass Effect streams and also tests mods on stream. Pretty interesting. And he is a member of Spectre Status Gaming, which is a deliberately inclusive community of primarily BioWare streamers. So yeah, he's a good guy to follow, good guy to know, good guy to hang out with. And we're gonna hop over there and say hey to him. Thank you so much for that shout out for Commander Shepard, Des. Just in case you get left behind on the raid, it's a long thing to type. So so I appreciate you doing that. All right, so I am gonna go chill for a little bit. I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. I hope to see you back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern for some Hades, and potentially root veggie chips. I don't know. And if not, then I hope I will catch you at some point over the weekend. Have a great night, you guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.